All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome if you are new here. Thank you guys so much for joining me today and waiting patiently for that intro to finish up. I hope everybody is doing well. It is January 7th. We're officially a week into the new year. And what better way to kick that off than by hosting an Xbox badge stream? Of course, Xbox badge stream. Not sure what that noise was, but yeah, we are going to be talking about Microsoft and Xbox today. And to be honest, I wasn't really planning on doing this stream today. Like, I wasn't planning on making this the topic, but some of you may know that yesterday we did an extended uh, members lounge, and in that members lounge, we were checking out some videos talking about Microsoft and Xbox and how we've gotten to this point with consoles, specifically between PlayStation and Xbox. And there was a specific video I came across that it was just crazy with some of the things that were being said. And it just kind of inspired me to actually kind of extend this discussion into a public stream here so everybody can watch. And yeah, Microsoft has hit rock bottom, dude. Like, not just Xbox, but Microsoft as a company seems to have hit rock bottom. Irvin, you're saying, MBG, as I promised, I made a donation to charity today. It was $2,000 donated directly to an orphanage. I wrote my name on the form along with MBG and his family. Please let Mrs. MBG know as well. Irvin, bro.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Really, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. And that's very awesome of you to donate $2,000 to an orphanage. So the fact that you put my name on there and Mrs. MBG and my family, it's an honor. So really appreciate that, man. And I know you said that you were doing that as a way to show your appreciation to the channel, and that means a lot. You know, I mean, of course, people contribute to the channel in many different ways, and so I have to say that is probably one of the more unique ways that I've seen it done. And so, you know, I'm humbled, man. I'm humbled. So thank you so much for that. We do it for the kids, bro. I love it. So, Irfan coming in with something very wholesome before we before the fireworks start. So shout out to Irfan for that, bro. It's very cool. Very cool. They can buy a PS5 and some games. Yeah. MBG, remember to hug an Xbot today. Let's welcome our refugee brothers and sisters into the arms of PlayStation. Q Arms Wide Open by Creed. Yeah, no, this isn't really going to be so much about, like, dude, I came across a freaking stream that was from yesterday from a prominent Xbox creator where even they were calling Microsoft micro slop, you know, and talking about $80 games and stuff. And I'm like, wow. So yeah, this isn't about like the Xbox fan base or like, I want to make it clear that if you enjoy playing on Xbox, this isn't like, oh, you should switch to PlayStation and, you know, smash your Xbox to pieces. No, it's nothing like that. This is just, no, this is not a re-upload. This is live. So here's the thing. I am going to be reacting to one video that I reacted to yesterday because I didn't pre-watch any of the videos and I was shocked. There's this one video that was made by the Act Man, and I got to show it to you guys. I have to show it to you guys. Like, and I'll be reacting to it again. I'm not going to like replay it, but there's just some of the stuff he was saying in this video that I'm like, dude, like yeah, yesterday we did a members lounge. So if you are a channel member and you missed that, when you're, you know, when you have the time, if you have the time, go check that out. If you're not a member, consider becoming one. You'll gain access to some of the members exclusive content that we do here on the channel. The likes and dislikes ratio in the stream is going to be interesting. Yeah, I mean, well, people can dislike it if they want. YouTube counts that as engagement. So, like, you know, I don't want you guys to not like or dislike the video. Please pick one or the other. Like it if you enjoy it and you agree with me. If you don't, make sure you do hit that dislike button because that counts as engagement, and that is literally all that matters. The worst thing you can do, you know what? I'm not going to tell you the worst thing you can do because then people try to do that. So hit the like button or hit the dislike button, one or the other. But yeah, so Ant-Man, yeah. I look like I lost weight in my face since the last time you watched my stream. Yeah, I mean, I could have. It could be water weight. I don't know. I mean, I'm forgot to take my creatine yesterday, so could be that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. The loving arms of PlayStation, bro. MacTube, you're saying MBG, I missed a member stream yesterday. Did you go off on Xbox? No, actually, I didn't really like go off on them. No, the bulk of the stream was reacting to other videos that have because I recently stumbled upon there's like all these videos that have been made in like the last 6 months from big content creators, medium sized content creators, small content creators, all talking about Xbox, all talking about Microsoft. And I was just kind of shocked because I'm like, dude, like people are finally waking up and just some of the things that they're saying are like we've been this isn't about taking a victory lap. It's just about it's a level of vindication almost where it's like we've been saying this for literal years, for years. And there's a lot of people who've pushed back against us, which is fine. That's always to be expected. But now everybody kind of seems to be on the same page. And I was just kind of stunned by this. But what's interesting is it seemingly isn't just about Xbox. It actually extends over into Microsoft as a company. And we've been talking about how Xbox kind of uh pulling out of the console race and not really trying to sell consoles anymore, not caring about it, and really just leaning more into like a Windows PC thing and raising the price of Game Pass. All this stuff we've been talking about how it seems like they really are done competing in any meaningful way with PlayStation or Nintendo or even Valve for that matter, considering Steam is going to be on the next Xbox or the Magnus device that comes out. And we've been kind of evaluating and discussing like why this could be, what is the cause of this, and yeah, I have a specific video that I want to react to with you guys because it's yeah, it's something. Let me tell you, it's something. Layoffs coming. So yeah, a couple months ago, back in early October, we had leaker Sneakers SO. Sneakers SO came out. He gave us a whole rundown uh of what Microsoft is going to be doing um in 2026. And one of the first things he said is there's going to be mass layoffs in Q1 of 2026. There's a report here. I don't know how accurate it is. Um Tip ranks, they say Microsoft Corporation is reportedly planning another round of job cuts in January 2026. Estimates suggest between 11,000 and 22,000 roles could be removed worldwide. That would equal to about 5 to 10% of its total workforce. The cuts are expected to take place in the third week of January. Reports from workers point to Acer Cloud Teams, the Xbox gaming unit, and global sales as a key area of focus. So far, Microsoft has not confirmed the plan. This move would follow a difficult 2025. During that year, Microsoft cut more than 15,000 jobs across several rounds. Those actions came even as revenue and profits stayed strong. Says at the same time, Microsoft is spending heavily on AI systems. In the first quarter of fiscal year 2026 alone, capital spending reached $34.9 billion. The company expects total spending for the year to pass $80 billion, which would be higher than its fiscal 2025. Most of that money is going towards data centers, chips, and AI tools. Due to this shift, analysts believe Microsoft is moving funds away from payroll and into long-term tech assets. As a result, middle managers and older product teams may face a higher risk. Meanwhile, roles tied to AI research and core cloud work are seen as more stable. This reflects the company's goal to stay competitive in AI development. So this was a report that came out earlier, and it's not really that surprise. I mean, to me, it's not that surprising. It's extremely unfortunate if it does happen. I mean, the the hope is it won't happen, but I mean, we kind of see where things are going. You know what I mean? We see where things are going. Um, we have a couple of other things though. So hold on. Microsoft communications lead. Oh, okay. Hold on. Microsoft apparently did respond to this. I mean, I don't know if we can trust anybody at Microsoft, but um, Microsoft's communications lead apparently responded to this report saying it's 100% made up, speculative, and wrong. And then somebody says, bookmarked, we will revisit this and we'll change the post status to confirmed layoffs in a few weeks. This is coming from there's actually a little spat here going on between the head of communications at Microsoft and I think the outlet that wrote the article. The head of communications, Frank Shaw, says, I eagerly await. Yo, Frank Shaw's going to look crazy. That's going to be real bad if this turns out to be true. Well, I mean, to be honest, I hope the Microsoft communications lead is correct because, up to potentially 22,000 jobs being cut. Come on, man. That's not how we want to start off 2026. Then we have here Windows Central, Jez Corden reporting on Xbox for the developer direct. He says he's not sure if all 4 announced games will be there: Halo, Gears, Forza, Fable. He says, I've heard one of Microsoft's more Intrepid teams may be ready to show off what they've been baking. The headline for BlizzCon 2026 is, I've heard Ninja Theory's next game will be more combat involved and interactive than Hellblade 1 and 2 while retaining the cinematic excellence. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Oh, okay. I thought that was State of Decay 3. Hold on. Nothing on State of Decay. Bro, come on. Nothing on State of Decay 3. Xbox Series or Xbox Elite Controller Series 3. He says there have already been rumors about mass layoffs in January 2026, although I'm told that these are false, at least with regards to Xbox. All right, well, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm going to be like I'm going to be honest. Do we believe that Microsoft's not going to lay people off? I want to believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. MBG, Xbox is dead. The Xbox console's dead. Yeah, absolutely. Fucking dead and buried. Unfortunately, man. Oh, no, wait. We're supposed to be celebrating. I'm a PlayStation fanboy, so hell yeah. Woo! Guys, as we go deeper into the stream, if you want to support the channel, consider becoming a member, consider dropping member gifts, consider dropping a super chat or a direct donation. These are all ways in which you can support the channel directly. Cannot do it without your support. MBG, I think the criticism of the AI slop is valid considering how many people Microsoft has laid off because of their support for AI. It shows how intense they are in the actual humans. Cut off your second part here for some reason. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate that. Microsoft will do layoffs, and Sony fans will go into fake rage caring about it. Sony lays off. So when Sony does layoffs, it's the minimum. Neutral Zone, I don't know what you're saying, man. Look, I don't know if you're talking about me and the people here on this channel, but we've bitched Sony out for laying teams off. We've bitched Sony out for closing Sony London. You know, we bitched him out every single time it's happened. So, you know, I understand that there's like kind of this made up fantasy that it's like there's this made up fantasy about PlayStation fanboys and like the way they behave. And to be fair, I guess it's not completely made up. Like there are some really insane people out there, but the same can be said for anything. There's insane PC players who act like maniacs. There's insane Nintendo fanboys and Xbox fanboys. We're not talking about them. If we're talking about just like keeping the same energy, the same energy has been kept, man. But that's the thing. If Xbox wants to be the biggest company in gaming, well, when they make the biggest rounds of layoffs, they're going to get the biggest amount of criticism. It's just the way it goes. It shouldn't go any other way. It doesn't make any sense for it to go any other way. But Sony should get criticism too. All these companies should get criticism. If the layoffs are totally, you know, it's in the name of like, we just want to basically replace you with AI, or we just, you know, we made a bunch of really dumb decisions, so now you guys are going to pay for it. Like, yeah, that shit sucks. You know, there's definitely some layoffs that occurred throughout the last 5 years due to like mass overhiring from the pandemic, but I think we're well beyond that at this point. Do I think Xbox stops doing physical games next gen? Dude, yes, Daniel, they're not. Daniel, they're not doing physical game. They're not doing physical games now, but there's not going to be physical games for Microsoft next gen at all. Bro, that's so that's wrong. Satya's like, oh, you want to call it slop, huh? Well, you know what? 10,000 more layoffs, bro. That is yeah, that's spooky shit. Satya Nadella is getting cooked for saying that. Rightly so. Rightly so. Shadowlink was in here the other day. He's like, yo, go check out some Sora 2 videos. I did. I went to go look at them. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is what we're building the data centers for? This right here? Don't get me wrong. Some of it was a little bit funny, but it's like, come on, dude. This is why people are losing their jobs? Yeah, it is. This is what's going to replace people? This is what's going to replace the workforce? Yeah, absolutely it is, apparently. And you know, I want to highlight something too. I just saw that Sony has some patents, by the way. See, Sony's not totally innocent either, right? See, this is where I just want to say, people say we don't keep the same energy. I'm going to keep the same energy. Sony put out, they filed 2 patents. One has to do with an AI like playing the game for you. So if you get like stuck or something's difficult or whatever, like you could just have the AI play it, or you could have the AI play the entire game. Apparently, that's a patent they filed, and the other patent they filed is even worse, where apparently it's like some kind of like they can alter audio and video for content you're playing or watching, which is like what the fuck. Luckily, they're just patents. The reason why I say that is because things get patented all the time. I mean, there was a patent of a player using a banana as a controller or some shit. I'm not kidding. This is like most of the patents that Sony files, nothing ever happens to them. We'll just have to hope that with these ones, at least that second one in particular, we have to hope nothing happens. Because do it, Sony. I dare you. I will cook Sony. I will cook Sony so hard. Whoa. Alex, you're saying respectfully. What about? Oh, dude, I didn't. What about the Sony AI slop? Slop Station 5, bro. Yeah, no, I mean, the reality when we talk about AI, I think that the thing is Microsoft is in the process of transitioning to becoming an AI first company. They're trying to get to that number 1 spot, bro. And they're spending like $80 billion plus to do that. Sony luckily is not in that position, but Sony is absolutely going to leverage AI in the same way that every other video game company, every other video game studio, Sony's not innocent. No, none of these companies are going to be innocent soon enough. But I do think that in terms of scope and scale, Microsoft 100% is leading the way, alongside like NVIDIA in this space. So they're the biggest players that we're going to want to watch out for. And, to be honest, most of what we're going to be talking about today doesn't have to do with AI. Saying respectfully, Sony had the most advanced AI with Aloy. Yeah, that was that tech demo that leaked. That was some scary shit, dude. That was some scary shit. Like, I don't want that to be. I'm telling you, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do if sometime during the PlayStation 6 generation, Sony's like, we've integrated a new, Mark Cerny's like, we've integrated a new next gen feature for the PlayStation 6 and first party games on the PlayStation 6. Previously, you could only assume things about the character and the world and everything they're going through. Now you can have a direct one-on-one conversation with them and have all your questions answered. It's like, yeah, I don't know about that one, man. I don't know about that one. That's kind of creepy. But yeah, I mean it's not surprising to think that Sony, considering they're trying to stay at the cutting edge of like, AAA game development, they're probably thinking like, oh, can we make this a thing? And I don't know. I'm just trying to envision a future where all the AAA games that come out, it's like you can enable AI mode and you could just like talk to the characters and shit. And I'm like, oh, I mean, it has like some interesting implications, but it sounds messy. It sounds messy to me. Kane Z7 says, MBG, please don't be a mindless hater. That Sony patent was talking about censoring nudity and gore if the player doesn't want to see that in the game. Oh, really? Yeah, I'm gonna have to do more research on this. I just came across it yesterday. Let me see. So Sony patent or Sony AI patent censorship, maybe? Let me see what comes up. 2 weeks ago, Sony is trying to patent an AI tool that will censor what you see and hear automatically. This is the only report I could find here is from Gaming Bible. Sony has patented an AI censorship tool aimed at the PS5 and PS6. Documents add that the technology is also going to be a focus for other rival consoles, including Microsoft's Xbox and Switch's hardware. Aimed at making any game child-friendly, the tool will be fully automated and tailored to specific users based on what they would and would not like to see in upcoming game releases. Oh, okay. Oh, well, shit. I didn't realize that. This can include everything from muting slurs to blurring gore and nudity, and in turn, the censored audio and video can be muted or hidden entirely, or even replaced with deep fake AI technology. That's crazy. So you will hear or see something different altogether. The AI can be catered to your needs. If it is successful, the AI technology will be able to detect any content that the user has specifically requested to censor, with the second processor being implemented to obscure the selected content. As a result, some major upcoming AAA games could give users the choice to censor adult language, nudity, gore, alcohol use. This would not benefit the average player, but it will definitely make many games more viable for children, even without an age certification. And it will also help streamers and content creators. Yeah, that's actually, I didn't think about that. Yeah. I remember when like The Last of Us Part 2 came out, anytime I tried to show footage of that, it was getting demonetized to all hell on YouTube, bro. Because of how brutal it was. Says additionally, the patent reveals that players will be informed of upcoming content both ahead of the playback and during it. During this time, the AI will carry out the censorship based on your preference. Then the user can choose whether to remove the content or replace the content. And with Sony stating that the technology is highly flexible, users are able to set their own parameters at will. So, okay, I think I had like a fundamental misunderstanding of this. I didn't realize it was like you could just kind of choose. You like basically you're using it like a tool, like you would parental controls essentially, or just a censorship tool. Okay, yeah, I thought the way I saw people talking about it, it was making it sound like Sony's gonna censor your content without you even knowing with AI, bro. I'm like, uh oh. So thank you for the heads up on that. Neutral Zone, you're saying, like it or not, I truly believe AI is the future for good or bad. All the gaming companies will do it and are already doing it. Well, I think AI is going to be Neutral Zone. I do kind of agree with you. I think AI is basically going to be the next internet, like in the way that the internet became something that obviously was going to change humanity, change the world in a profound way. Um, it's not universally good. It's not universally bad. It's not universally neutral. It's a tool. It depends on how people choose to use it. You know what I mean? And because of that, when you go on the internet, just like in the real world, you can find anything you want that's good, anything you want that's bad, and everything in between. I think AI will basically fall in that same category. The only thing, and I'm not going to go on a tangent about this, but the only thing that I worry about with AI in the long term is the idea of like an AGI, you know, and potential consciousness and sentience, all that different stuff. But that's, you know, who knows what's going to happen with that. But yes, when it comes to AI, we're already seeing it being implemented. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to change. Every single company is going to use it. And I just think right now what people are kind of doing is they're like reading quotes from like Satya Nadella, where he's saying like we have to stop calling it AI slop. And it's like, you know, it just comes off as kind of tone deaf, where it's not to say that there aren't useful AI tools. There absolutely are. But, you know, again, man, even if you just look at like content creation, people can use AI to help make their content better, depending on how they use it. And even that may even come just in the form of I can get my videos out more efficiently. I can get certain tasks done much more efficiently, much more quickly. And then the end user does benefit directly from that, to whereas it can also be used for content creation in a negative way, where it's like, I'm just going to have an AI slop, whatever, like short that's brain rot and completely pointless, completely useless. Like I'm gonna have two dead celebrities like fighting each other in a boxing ring or something. It's just like that's not okay. Like I guess it is expected that that's going to exist. People are going to make that, but that's like it's just hard for people when you see the real world, the tangible real world consequences being rendered through the corporations like Microsoft and many others, where it's like, so sacrifices are going to have to be made. Greater investments are going to have to be made. Jobs be damned, or, the human cost be damned. And we're going to have to build data centers. We don't care if that fucks up the energy problem or the energy crisis, or raises people's electric bills to who knows how much, because that's how they want to subsidize the cost of these data centers. It's like all this shit is just like, yeah, we don't want to hear from like a CEO like, stop calling it AI slop, like stop allowing people to make it. Like, make a rule where AI slop can't exist in the data centers. Then that's going to open up a whole nother can of worms, where people are, we can't even be free to use the AI how we want. So, it's just problems on top of problems. But there's good in between. Yeah, that's the moment, Petrov. It's going to be scary. Stop it, guys. It's not AI slop. Is it safe to say that Microsoft proving no exclusivity / consumer friendly means jack all for the console market? Yeah. We talked about that stuff, man. Like people, the people who are getting caught up in the idea of like, is exclusivity good or bad? Like, don't get me wrong, there's a place for that conversation, but there was clearly something much greater looming in the distance where it's like, I don't really think we should worry about that. There's something much bigger, much greater, much more, has the power to really upend things in a much more meaningful way. And it's natural. We just tend to look at what's right in front of us and not what's looming in the distance. But yeah, we're starting to see that big storm rolling in that was looming in the distance, bro. And believe me when I tell you, it has nothing to do with games being exclusive or not, unfortunately, because it makes that whole argument and that conversation look like, child's play. Yep. Absolutely tarnished. Yeah. Got to keep that machine going. But we are going to try to focus on Xbox today. I want to bring this video up. I got to show you guys this video. Okay. I don't do this that often. And if you were part of yesterday's members lounge, this is going to be a bit of a repeat, but it's maybe worth repeating because I came across this video from the Act Man, and I don't really follow the Act Man. I've no problem with the Act Man. It's just not a content creator that I normally follow. But I was like scrolling through YouTube and I saw this video called the eternal humiliation of Xbox, and I had no idea what to expect. I mean, I expected it to be a bit of a rant, or like obviously a negative video, but man, it's just it's on levels where I'm like, okay, man, this is giving me flashbacks to 2018, 2019, 2020. So we're gonna bring that up and we're gonna check this out. Just give me a second while I do this. I think I have it up already. Wait, no, this is the wrong video. Wait, hold on, I have the wrong video up. The other video from the Act Man is the unfortunate rise of microslop. So maybe we'll watch that one after. Where is it? Where is it? I know it's here. Damn it. There it is. Okay. We're going to bring this up. All right, let me just get my my headphones here. So this video again is called The Eternal Humiliation of Xbox, bro. And I listen, I got to tell you guys, if you're a longtime viewer, Garrett, what's going on, man? If you're a longtime viewer, I think you're gonna appreciate this, because again, it's not about like, oh, I was right. but we were right. Like, we were right. And Ackman, what he says here is right. Although I think he's actually like way more passionate about it than I am at this point. Like, I mean, he goes off here. But wait, I need a beer and chips. Damn, hot shot. He's like, I need a beer and chips. Hold on. Or if it's like, feed me. Comparing 2020 Xbox to 2026 is crazy. Yeah, it's not. Things have changed. Things have changed. I think it's safe to say. The question is, did they change for the better or for the worse, bro? Like, they're for the better or for the worse. Alex says, respectfully, there are thousands of PlayStation is dead videos. We react to those as well. Oh, PS guys is funny. Microsoft is doing everything I want. Yeah, we can react to those videos. Certainly. If anything, it's more pertinent. Actually, to be honest, at this point in time, I would be more interested to hear the arguments against or for like why PlayStation is dead. But yeah, I'll tell you here. So here's the context I want to give you for this video that we're going to react to from the Ackman. This is very important context. Okay. You won't see me make a video like Ackman did right here because I don't feel the way he does anymore. I used to feel the way he does now in like 2018, 2017, 2018. Not anymore. I mean, he's what's interesting to me about this video is he's coming at it from the angle of somebody who still cares about Xbox, dude. Like a longtime fan. And I'm like, damn, I didn't expect that. So will be interesting to hear what he has to say. Apparently he gets a little drunk too. So that's when you know the truth is coming out. But yeah, like PlayStation dead videos. I mean, listen, man. Everybody, I see it every week. PlayStation's dead. PlayStation's dead. So I don't normally react to videos too often. If you have any good recommendations, let me know though. Let me know. And then we'll do another one. We'll do another one with a blue lighting in the background. You know, PlayStation has hit rock bottom. Yeah. So again, if you were in the members lounge yesterday, this is going to be familiar to you. But I gotta show you guys this. Like I was not expecting such an unhinged rant, dude. MBG, I watched your Crackdown 3 video. You said, MBG, I watched your Crackdown 3 video. You sounded very depressed. I was. It was, dude, I wasn't even angry. I couldn't even get angry. I'm like, I'm just sad. I'm just sad, man. You're welcome, Irfan. Why would we react to PlayStation is dead when it's not remotely true? Well, because honestly, that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, I'm curious to see like what the points are that people who are making those videos, what they would bring up. I'm sure there's some stuff I would agree with. I'm sure there's plenty of stuff I would disagree with. But yeah, I also wonder how different those videos would sound for the reasoning compared to like what we're gonna watch here. Because the shit he starts going off about in this video is like, you know, it's yeah, it's kind of intense, but Sony's dead. Don't you get it? Listen, Microsoft is in rock bottom. Sony's already dead. Didn't you get the memo? Not dead as a brand or value and popularity. You know what I think? So before I play this video, just really quick, I think there are PlayStation fans who like they reminisce about the PS2 and the PS3 days, or even some of the PS4. And to them, it just feels like the PS5 is something different. Like it's disconnected, and you know they have almost like a nostalgia for it. And I think you're going to get a little bit of that from the Ackman here as well with Xbox. But I think it's just undeniable that things change. These these brands, these companies, they're definitely changing. You know, and we can't really deny that. Yeah, I am interested in Crimson Desert. MBG, the PlayStation is dead videos are not based on any reality. They'll tell you PlayStation The PlayStation they knew is dead. But that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe we could react to one in this stream. I don't know. Fuck it, you know? Like, why is who was the PlayStation you knew, and why are they dead? And you know, again, I'd be interested to hear the reasoning, but why not play his more recent Microsoft video? I might play that one too, because I didn't watch that one yet. He's like something about microslop, but I have to just show you guys this. All right, we'll do it. Let's just get into it.
Just a quick heads up, I recorded this video after I'd gone out to the bar and had a few drinks, so I was a little bit sauced in it. A lot was cut from this video, but when I got back home, I just had to rant about the state of Xbox again. And I wouldn't take this video too seriously, right? Just remember, I came home, I had to rant. But rather than just not posting the video, I thought I'd give you that disclaimer, so watch at your own peril.
We've all been there, bro. Preaching to the choir here. I get it, you know? Bro was out drinking and just started thinking about, you know what? I got something to fucking say about Xbox. That's some funny shit, dude.
And enjoy the eternal humiliation of Xbox. Dear Microsoft, it's time to stop. Cease and desist. Stop right there, greedy scum. Ladies and gentlemen, the never-ending decline and eternal humiliation of Xbox continues. I'm genuinely at a loss of words at this point. Look at what I have been reduced to, okay? I'm wearing a PlayStation shirt. I bought this for a video about console fanboys to make fun of both PlayStation and Xbox fanboys, and yet here I am wearing it. I got my OG PlayStation box here. I just want to set the record straight. I have always been a huge fan of Xbox, seeing as I am someone who grew up in the town where it was created. And although I've always had great respect for PlayStation and its exclusives, it just hasn't jived with me the same way Xbox has. I respect PlayStation, I just don't play it. This right here is the complete library of PlayStation 1 games I have played. And there's some bangers in here, but it's Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Worms Armageddon, and of course Lego Rock Raiders. These are all of the games I have played on PS1. I genuinely thought things could not get any worse than they have already. I felt like the inevitable end of Xbox. Like, I envisioned that video as, okay, yeah, that's it. It can't get any worse than that. I pointed out like 30 different reasons why Xbox sucks now and how they're increasing the prices for basically everything. And as one helpful comment pointed out, apparently Rock Bottom has a basement and Xbox is still digging. They're still digging.
Oh my God, bro. That's that's crazy to me. Like, again, I don't really follow the act, man, but he's clearly like actually a fan of Xbox, or like he's been a really long time fan. And geez, like he's putting on a fucking PlayStation shirt to drive home the point, man. This is MBG in 2019. This is literally me 5 years ago, bro. 6 years ago. Oh no.
Thinking, why are you going so deep? And somehow Phil Spencer has unearthed a new layer of shame. But what am I even talking about? Well, here it is. Xbox did so badly on Black Friday sales, its stock keeping units were beaten by a console you've never heard of. Like I said, we already reached rock bottom. We can't dig any further, can we? Right? If I were to reiterate every single awful decision that Xbox has made over the last year and a half, yeah, if I were to tally up the runtime of these 4 videos, I could tell you why Xbox sucks over the course of about 2 hours. So for any non-Americans, Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, is the busiest shopping day in the calendar year for America. And Microsoft, $4 trillion company, owners of Xbox, they were just beaten in sales by this. This beat Xbox. Chances are you don't even know what this thing is called. This is a standalone Kinect, essentially, but not even made for Xbox fans, made for families. Now, I just want to reiterate, as someone who grew up in the town where Xbox was created, Phil Spencer has brought nothing less than eternal shame upon my hometown and by extension me. I feel stupid.
Bro, hold on.
Me. I feel stupid for being a fan of Xbox.
Dude, do you guys understand why this is crazy for me to watch and witness? Like, you guys understand, right? Like, I feel like I'm watching a repeat, dude. Like, I know exactly what he's describing to a fucking T, bro. That's crazy. And dude, he's being way more harsh than I ever was. That's the craziest part. I'm listening to what he's saying. He's like talking about Phil Spencer bringing him eternal shame. Alex with a super chat says, respectfully, quality first party games, a high quality handheld, and the power of next gen hardware that will play PC exclusives and PlayStation exclusives. How are they dead? Well, listen, they're not dead. I mean, look, I repeat this over and over again. The Xbox console's dead, dude. Like, that hardware you're describing buying in the future, that's a PC. That's a Windows PC. You can do what you just described, you can do right now. Although I don't know that I'd recommend it with the fucking price increases of everything or how expensive everything's getting, but you can buy that right now. You don't have to wait for Magnus, bro. Magnus isn't going to give you anything special. The one thing Magnus will give you that I think the current PC market can is maybe proper backwards compatibility with Xbox games, which, you know, will definitely be a benefit if you're somebody who still wants to play on Xbox. But we're not talking about the brand that is Xbox being dead. The brand's not dead. The brand's doing just fine, as we can see. Microsoft is focused on, and this is probably why you hear somebody like Actman really going off, because again, he's coming at it from the perspective of somebody who's still trying to be an Xbox fan and still enjoy Xbox as somebody who's been with it long term. What he's recognizing, what I think a lot of people are beginning to recognize, is that Microsoft has seemingly completely given up and abandoned the notion of, we're going to try to win back and win over the established console fan base that we spent the last 21, 22 years building up. Instead, we're going to start just kind of torching all the bridges in the hopes that some of them kind of remain when it's all said and done, in the name of, well, we just made $80 billion worth of acquisitions. Nearly, we need to start trimming the, quote unquote, trimming the fat, find those higher profit margins, and making sure that, you know, the Xbox gaming division can be a high performer, just like every other division under Microsoft, because they are a near $4 trillion company. You know, so, you know, the brand for so some people do believe that the brand that is Xbox is dying or dead, and that's a little bit, that can be somewhat subjective. Like, again, I come across people who are like, PlayStation's dead. It's like, well, why? It's because it ain't what they were during the PS2 days. And it's like, okay, like, we can't argue that. I can't argue your reasoning, because that is so true. But it's like, if we're looking at things from a higher elevated perspective, at least when it comes to Microsoft, the console itself is dead. However, I've talked about this on so many streams. The greater concern that is the console market, dude. Microsoft is the first big one to fall. Well, you know, will this have any kind of negative impact on Sony, on Nintendo? It remains to be seen. Some people will tell you yes. And Alex with the super chat says the measure of success isn't selling consoles. Then what is it? Engagement? Sure. Subscriptions, perhaps. Just general users. But, you know, it's it's just something where Microsoft's success in gaming going forward pretty much doesn't involve hardware. Like again, there will be hardware. You can buy the Xbox Magnus that comes out, but I don't know, man. I don't I don't know how anybody could really look at the current state of Xbox and not understand where like people like Actman are coming from. Where I mean, again, I think Actman is being very intense here. He said not to take it too seriously. He's a little drunk, but it's clearly coming from a place of like, this is how he really feels about what the fuck happened to Xbox. What's interesting is watching his video is to whereas I went back to PlayStation when I was feeling the way he was feeling. I went back to PlayStation because I'm like, dude, I've had this feeling that maybe what Sony's doing really isn't as good as people are making it sound. I'm gonna just stick with Xbox, and then eventually I caved, and I'm like, all right, well, I grew up playing PlayStation. I'll go back to it, and I never had like an intense problem with PlayStation. Like I never hated them. And then when I did, I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. This Microsoft, you're out of your depth with this, bro. Like, Sony's delivering exactly, I think, what a lot of people want and have been asking for. Not everybody, but enough people. And yeah, Microsoft, they kind of lost it, man. It slipped through their fingers. Yeah, you're saying I don't have to indulge the cringe Xbots in the chat. They don't live in reality. Xbox has been dead. No, MacTube, don't you get it? PlayStation's dead. Sony's dead. Sony's the bad one. Sony's wrong. Microsoft's fine. Shadowlink, you're saying MBG, it looks more like a strategic withdrawal from the console in some ways. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it looks like a controlled exfil, a controlled retreat, I guess, where it's like we don't want to make it obvious that we've lost the battle and we're no longer fighting the battle. And instead of even fighting the battle, we're just actually going to join the other side. That's literally what Microsoft has done. And they have tried to navigate that by trying to control a message of like, well, we didn't really lose the battle. We took it to another place, where everything is an Xbox, and we're still making hardware. Don't worry, we still got Magnus coming. It's like, is it a gaming PC? Oh well, it's still a console. It's a console. It's like, but it's gonna be Windows 10. No, 11. Sorry, we killed Windows 10. It's gonna be Windows 11. It's going to have Steam. It's not a gaming PC. It's a console. It's like, okay. I mean, and we're putting Halo on PlayStation. It's like, oh, well, there it is. I mean, there it is. It's like, all right, well, all right. So this is done then. Yeah, I'll think about it, Jake. They're jumping off the train before they get pushed off. That's an interesting way. That's an interesting way to put it. Which line do I think will live on in infamy for a longer time? It's just 4 games, or we have a console for you. It's the 360. I mean, I truthfully, I think it has to be that we have a console for you. It's the 360. I don't think it'll ever get worse than that, bro. Milo will return. Yeah, dude. All right, let's continue on here.
Me. I feel stupid for being a fan of Xbox. I remember playing this console. I remember playing Fusion Frenzy the day the Xbox came out at a neighbor's house because they worked at Microsoft, and there was 30 of us packed into the living room. And everybody was just having the time of their life. It felt like after the N64, like that was a real jump in technology that even as a kid, I couldn't fully understand, but I felt it. I felt that this was something special, the release of the Xbox. And I remember the first time I played Halo Combat Evolved and I used the Duke controller, my hands were so small, I could not aim on the right stick and hit the right
Controller's
trigger
cursed.
at the same time. And I still had a blast with the games. And I have tried to stick by this brand through thick and thin, even during the Xbox One days when basically all of my friends, my entire friend group, again, all of us born and raised where Xbox was created, we were all Xbox 360 fanboys, and then everybody swapped to PS4 except me, because I held out hope for the MCC. And I gotta tell you folks, this is a eternal humiliation ritual for Xbox. I take no pleasure in making these kinds of videos.
Dude, this is crazy. The Xbox Series X will return in Avengers Doomsday. Xbox will return. MBG, I don't like Actman. He supported several, let's say, anti-PS content creators. I wonder if he'll get the same flack as you do in support. Oh, no. Dude, they want to go, dude. The people you're talking about, Devil Shrew, they're not even going to watch. They would never show this video on their channel. And if they do, well, what are they going to? Are they going to argue it? Are they going to say he's wrong? Are they going to say Actman is wrong? I mean, they can, but it's like, I don't know. He sounds like he's making some sense to me. So, but even I'll say, like, yeah, he's being like intense, dude. He's being way harsher than even I could be right now. He's coming from a place of he's still trying to care about Xbox. I'm like, yeah, dude, I stopped caring about Xbox a while ago at this point. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I still care about whatever games they might be making and might, at this point, be releasing on PlayStation, games I might be interested in. But as like a console, an ecosystem, and a platform, it's like, no, dude, I've been checked out. But I know exactly what he's talking about. I know what he just said about still going with the Xbox One and sticking to it and thinking that, like, yeah, that it'll turn around. It'll get better. You know, dude, that was literally me in 2018 and 2019, or 2017 and 2018. That was me throughout almost the entire Xbox One generation. So I know. He's wasted. No, he doesn't seem wasted. He definitely seems a little drunk. Dude, that's so sad, man. Like, he got drunk and he's like probably reminiscing and like fucking Phil Spencer did this to me. He made me feel stupid. Like, and you know, and I know, dude, I've been there. Not necessarily getting drunk, but I've been there, man. I remember when I thought Crackdown 3 actually had a chance. Just mildly intoxicated. Shit, man, that's what I gotta do. And then do my rant videos. Yeah, Chris, I mean, that's the thing. Actman, he doesn't just talk about Xbox. He doesn't just talk about PlayStation. He seems to be covering, like, everything. I come across some of his videos occasionally. But the title of this one, I'm like, bro, what? Something must have happened. When do you think Actman is getting that Cerny back tattoo? At this rate, maybe next week. Yeah. Yeah. It's getting pretty bad. He got drunk and the first thing that came to his mind was Xbox. Yikes. Well, I appreciate his passion, man. I do. Like, that's why I wanted to replay this video, because I was, again, I reacted to this yesterday and I was like, I thought it was kind of going to be another, I don't know, I wasn't expecting it to be so impassioned. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was going to be more, like, I don't want to say like professional, but just, I guess, more like produced. But it just really reminded me of like the good old days, you know, of like, yeah, man, I'm feeling a certain way about where Xbox is right now. I gotta turn on my microphone and talk about it for like 10 or 15 minutes. I've been there, man.
Truth, I hope I don't have material to keep making these videos, but the rapid decline and more than likely death of Xbox will have ramifications across the entire.
So I just got to point this out. Like, did you hear what he just said? More than likely the death of Xbox. Bro, I'm the toxic PlayStation fanboy. And even I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying, like, even I'm saying I don't think Xbox is going to die. Fuck, man. Like, here you go. He said it. Yeah, don't shoot me. They're going to shoot me anyway. Don't shoot. I didn't say it. Yes, you did. You just said it. No, he said it. He said it, not me. But you let him say it on your channel, so that's crazy though, dude. I mean, he's pissed, dude. He is pissed at Xbox. He said Phil Spencer shamed him.
Our video game industry that we can't foresee at this point. But suffice to say, things are only going to get worse. If you've ever played the board game Monopoly, it's a game that's more fun the more players you have, because you have less of a chance of getting just completely scammed, right? The whole purpose of Monopoly is that if one player controls the board, the game sucks and everybody stops playing or loses immediately. And with one less player on the board, the gaming industry inevitably gets worse. Microsoft has just flat out stopped trying. That's the most generous appraisal of how they've been handling Xbox, is that they have given up. That's the most generous interpretation. More realistically, they are intentionally nosediving this billion-dollar franchise into the fucking dirt to extract as much value as possible that they can from it. That's the Phil Spencer business model. I guess I should talk about this standalone ripoff Connect that has beaten a $4 trillion company. The Next Playground. Xbox hardware was outsold by a little-known Kinect-style console during Black Friday week in the US, coming fourth. They came fourth. That's according to Circana data shared on social media, which suggests the family console Next Playground took 14% of the market for the week ending November 29th. I just want everyone watching this video to comment down below and be honest. Did you hear about the Next Playground before this news dropped or before you watched this video?
I can tell you right now. Now, granted, I only knew about it because I came to this video late, but when this news came out, I had never heard of this thing. I thought it was a joke. I'm not even kidding. Like, when I first saw the headline pop up on my Twitter feed, I was like, somebody's messing around. And then I'm like, wait, this is real. And then I looked at it and I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. How? Yeah, I never heard of this thing. Oh boy. Do I think Metal Gear Solid 6 is releasing on PS6? No, I don't.
I just want to reiterate that Costco has effectively stopped selling Xbox consoles and products because Costco only sells things that sell.
Costco stopped selling Xbox products because Costco only sells things that sell. Oh, man. He cooked. Jeez, man. They only sell things that sell here.
Costco is physically the biggest retailer in close proximity to Microsoft and Xbox. And even Costco isn't fucking with Xbox anymore. I know this video is just gonna be a sort of incomprehensible rant, but this is the only way I can cope with how fucking bad
I understand
this brand has been handled and how utterly disappointed and disillusioned with it I am. I take no pleasure in making these videos.
I understand.
Not only has Microsoft twice raised the price of their own console, they didn't even put it on sale for Black Friday. For Black Friday. That's consumer's paradise right there. They didn't even put it on sale. They're not even trying to sell consoles. They are intentionally torpedoing this franchise into the... what's the lowest layer of Earth? They've successfully penetrated the upper mantle and they are headed straight towards the inner core. If you want to feel even more embarrassed for being an Xbox fan, let's suffer together. Next Playground is an Android-powered console launched in 2023. It was launched in 2023, and not a single fucking one of us have heard about it until now, which features a motion camera similar to Microsoft's Axt sensor.
Yeah, I just gotta say, like, people think I've been harsh on Xbox. This man just told you that Microsoft has penetrated the upper mantle of the Earth's crust. What?
The Kinect. The console features family games such as Fruit Ninja, a game I have played on my phone for free for over a decade. They are competing with Fruit Ninja and losing. And it retails for $250, but is regularly discounted to under $200.
It must be. It must be a good device, Chris.
You mean if the price is affordable, people will buy it? No. Raise the prices. Just keep raising the prices. The Playground has been quietly growing in popularity in the US market, and even briefly outsold PS5 in the week before Black Friday. Now that is impressive to a certain extent. Is it impressive or disheartening, demoralizing? The fact that Microsoft, as a $4 trillion company, does not seem able to compete with a knockoff of something they already built. And I'll just say this.
That
the
sounds so
Kinect
bad.
was a cool tech concept.
Milo.
It was cool. The fact that it
Carl.
was mandatory for every Xbox One is what killed the Kinect. That's what killed it. It wasn't the concept. Motion controls are cool. VR has popped off, so there's still a market for it. People have fond memories of the Wii. I have fond memories of the Wii. PlayStation Move. Microsoft exited this business without even trying, and now they're being upended by some fucking Ouya 2.0. Although that may be true, it's worth noting that Xbox was not
Ouya
competitive
2.0,
with its pricing over Black Friday, and it seems like there isn't a huge amount of stock in circulation. So it's as much to do with Xbox's ambition with its consoles as it is with consumer demand. Even as cope, this isn't a good sign. Xbox isn't.
Even as cope, this dude, even as cope, this isn't a good sign, he says. Fucking. I'm having like PTSD flashbacks, man. Shit.
Trying to be competitive on Black Friday. I remind you, the biggest day of sales in the United States of America, the world's largest economy, and one of the most profitable, valuable businesses in the world, is not even trying to be competitive on this day. They have given up. It's worse than they've just given up. They're destroying the Xbox brand. Look at what you've reduced me to. A day one Xbox fan who grew up in the hometown where it was created. I'm wearing a PlayStation shirt, a console I barely even fucking play. And
Bro, oh my dude, he is crashing out. But you know what's crazy is, like, I'm listening to him, and it's crazy how, like, for me, I am the opposite of him. I grew up playing PlayStation. Then I got won over by the Xbox 360, stuck with them with the 360 to the Xbox One, then ended up going back to PlayStation. And so they lost me, like, at the, in the middle of the Xbox One gen. And from his perspective, this is coming from the perspective of somebody who actually grew up with the original Xbox. Like, that was like their go-to console, and the 360, and with most of the Xbox One. And this, I think what's interesting about this compared to, what happened with me is how now you're starting to, like, now you're seeing, like, this is the Xbox fan. I mean, not literally like just Ackman, but I mean the Xbox fan. It's his hometown. It's where it was created, and he's been with it the entire time, and he's still tried to hold out hope. And even now, it took up to this point, but even he's like, bro, this is fucking done. He's saying Xbox is dead or going to die. Like, what? I mean, you would think that would be the wake up call for Microsoft. Like I could get with like somebody like me, where it's like, oh, whatever, bro. But now you're getting people out here who are like, dude, I've been here since the OG Xbox. Come on, that's crazy to me.
And I have more pride in this than I do in the Xbox brand. What the fuck are you doing? Words do escape me at this point.
Oh, jeez.
You might be thinking, well, why do you care so much? First off, this is a gaming YouTuber channel, so it's kind of my job. But also, secondly,
Why do you care so
Xbox
much?
was a point of pride not just in the fact that, like, I enjoyed every moment I spent playing a game on my OG Xbox and 360, but the fact that it was local. That it was built in my hometown. It was a point of pride. And now you know what's happened? Every single one of my friends that I went to elementary, middle school, and high school with, we can no longer afford to live in our hometown because Microsoft sucks the soul out of everything they touch. They are a poison and a plague to the land. And
Bro. See, do you see why I had to show you this video? Listen to what that man just said. Listen to what that man just said. Holy shit. They're a poison and a plague to the land. What is happening?
And I can tell you from firsthand experience, that is an absolute truth. This company fucking sucks. And I simply cannot articulate properly and put it into words how much I despise them and their treatment of the Xbox brand. I'm wearing a PlayStation shirt. What more do you want me to say? And I'm making this video because people at least need to be aware.
Dude, I'm starting to realize that, like, watching this over a second time, I'm starting to realize that yeah, dude, like Microsoft has driven a person here who doesn't like PlayStation. Like he doesn't hate, he made it clear he doesn't hate PlayStation, but he just doesn't, he's not into PlayStation. He doesn't play on PlayStation. They've driven this man to put on a PlayStation shirt and break out his original PlayStation and put it in the background of his video to fucking make a point. You gotta wonder, bro. Like for real, you've gotta wonder if like people at Microsoft or like Phil Spencer, if they see this shit and how that, like, what they think. Cause god damn, man.
Of how bad things have gotten. If you don't acknowledge the reality of how things are, what hope do we have of altering the trajectory of our timeline? What's most telling about the state of Xbox is that despite making that console fanboys video, that was at a time when there was a reason to be an Xbox fanboy. And although that video was very critical of Xbox and PlayStation fanboys, what I failed to do was acknowledge the importance of console fanboys. And this is what we're all gonna do right now, okay? Console fanboys are important because they are a driving factor of competition in the video game industry.
Excuse me? Bro. What has Xbox done to this man? What has Xbox done to this man? That he just said that. Oh man, this is JD Gamer, you're saying what is he holding out hope for Xbox to try and win the console war? That's over. PlayStation wins. Now if, and I say if you're a gamer that plays games, you win. Dude, kick rocks and go to PlayStation and still buy Xbox games. Damn. I'm assuming that message is for Actman, JD Gamer. Michael Meridian, you're saying, did you watch the Game Economist video about the games industry and how it isn't crashing? I mentioned it yesterday. I have it in my save for later. I haven't watched it just yet, but I will, Michael. I'm interested in that one. He's definitely gone off the rails. Dude, you know what's so funny? That video he mentioned that when he made fun of Xbox and PlayStation fanboys, I was mentioned one time in that video, and he pulled up my tweet from like years ago when I tweeted out on Christmas morning like a moment of silence for everybody who woke up to a Series S console. And I rightfully got cooked. It's cringe, I'm console warrior on Christmas Day. But what's so funny to me is like the idea that, geez, man, I mean, if what you're saying about Xbox is true, I don't know. I guess it's not good for anybody who chose to invest in that console. But that's crazy, man. He just straight up said, fanboys are good. What's happening?
To do right now, okay? Console fanboys are important because they are a driving factor of competition in the
driving factor of competition
video game industry.
In the
you
video
look
game
at
industry.
Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. When Infinity Ward made that,
So I have a question. Like, I guess it's not really for Actman per se, because I don't know. Maybe he'll come out and be like, "Yeah, I was just really drunk when I made this video." But just a broader question, like if he meant what he said there about like the competition and like driving the competition and like the fanboys drive the competition or help drive that competition, what does that mean for like all the people who are like, you shouldn't be a fanboy of things or enthusiastic about it? Like I'm just saying, like, is the other side of that like people who aren't doing that are not driving the competition? I'm just saying, I think we need to explore this further. We had to come to a consensus here. That's like probably the craziest thing he said this whole video, though. No, he says something even crazier, I think, about Phil Spencer later. I don't know. Hunter Eats Hunter says, MBG, do you think Xbox transitioning to PC gaming is a good thing? If Magnus is a PC plus back compat, it would basically get everything. I don't think that Xbox should exist just to compete with PlayStation. I think it's fine. I think it's a shell of what it was supposed to be, but I think people need to kind of understand that a very likely reality, I'm not saying this will happen guaranteed, but a likely reality is that there isn't going to be Xbox versions of games in the future. There's just going to be PC, PlayStation, and Switch. And so while, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, the only actual like dedicated thing you will get by choosing to buy Magnus, because it's going to be expensive, is backwards compatibility. And if you are an Xbox player, that probably will matter to you. So it's going to serve that smaller group that still wants to transition over. But at the end of the day, yeah, like Magnus is not meant to compete with PlayStation. And Xbox is going to exist the way that Microsoft always kind of wanted it to exist from the beginning, where Microsoft wanted to make a Windows machine basically made for the living room, focused on gaming. That was like their original vision. They pivoted from that vision because they realized that's not really going to work. So we have to kind of follow what's already been established with PlayStation and Nintendo and Sega and so on and so forth. But now they're at this point, where they realize that, okay, well, we're kind of done trying to sell hardware, but we can't really abandon, the 25 to 28 million people that did choose to buy Xbox Series consoles. We can't abandon the people that we've spent the last 20 years trying to convince, like, please remain a fan of Xbox. We got to give them something. And yeah, I mean, the idea that Microsoft wants to essentially convert whatever remaining Xbox players there are into PC and into Windows gamers. Yeah, that makes sense with their larger vision, with Windows 11 and AI and all that stuff, and wanting to be cloud driven and all that. So, I'm not saying it's a. Here's what I'll say. To answer your question more simply, do I think it's a good thing? I think it's subjective. I think The one area where it's not subjective is actually what Actman is touching on here now, and that is there will be less competition in the console space. It will. There will be. Magnus is going to exist. People are going to realize very, very quickly, as soon as Magnus is announced, this is not a console competitor. This is a high-end PC. People are going to realize that very quickly. And so the only thing that I can say objectively here is that this ultimately, Microsoft's decision to go in this direction will lead to lesser competition in the console space. And for people like me, and perhaps Actman here and others, I grew up with the consoles. I liked to see that competition. I liked to see Sony and Microsoft taking it to one another, trying to fight to win you over, even with Nintendo and in the past, like Sega in the mix, right? I like to see that. And, you know, this idea of having like a completely homogenized gaming platform, like which would be PC. Could that be the long-term future? Maybe. Yeah. I mean, there is an argument to be made there, but there's pros and cons to all of this. And to me, the negative and the con of having less competition doesn't make me feel better about the console space. It makes me feel like kind of sad, like, oh, fuck, you know? That's why I think it's funny, dude. Like, people have accused me for so long. They're like, you just want Xbox dead, bro. You're just a fanboy and you want Xbox dead. It's like, go back and listen to my videos. Go listen to my streams. Like, I'm not trying to get overly defensive, but it's like, I've never once advocated for that. Not one time. Not once. Like, being serious, like, the only thing I've actually ever advocated for is, hey, like, Microsoft, can you make a game that makes me and other people say, I gotta fucking get an Xbox right now? Can you do that? That'd be great. I've always advocated for that. And that's why I'm saying, like, this idea that, like, are there fanboys? So, like, when Knackman in this video says, like, oh, fanboys are, they drive competition, I think there's, like, to dive a little bit deeper, I think there's, like, two types of fanboys. There's the truly toxic fanboys where it's like the only way my thing can be good is at the detriment of your thing. And then I think there's the fanboy that's like, I just really love this thing and feel passionately about it. And maybe at most you entertain the competition that exists around it and within it, right? If anything, just so the thing you like can get better. And I think that's probably what he's speaking to here. Because, like, yeah, are there people out there like, I fucking want PlayStation to die. I want Xbox to die and cease to exist entirely. Yeah, you know, there are people that want Nintendo to die. And it's like, I don't think you guys understand what this means. It's either that or it just means you actually don't care. Because if you did care, you would realize that what you're advocating for is a removal of competition. Not completely, because people will bring up the argument of like, well, competition will still exist. Yes, it will. Competition between games, competition between subscription services, competition between features on a platform, stuff like that. So it's not all going away, but this is in this particular area, if you happen, again, this is why I say, like, it is kind of subjective to a degree, where if you care at all about console gaming and have enjoyed it in the past or currently, and it's something you want to continue to partake in, yeah, then you probably should care to a small extent about the health of the competition in this space. And that's why Magnus doesn't get me excited at all, because I remember how I felt going into the Series X and the PS5 and how I thought to myself, like, dude, I think Microsoft might really be doing it this time, bro. I think Sony's going to kick down the doors with the PS5, but I think Microsoft's going to be there to meet them. And they did. And like Phil Spencer came out with the Series X, most powerful console, and then they showed off Hellblade, and I'm like, holy shit. Like, I think Microsoft is fucking serious, bro. Like, I couldn't believe that. I'm like, they showed Hellblade as their first next gen game before Halo, before Gears. I'm like, let's go. And we see what happened. And it's like, oh, shit. But that is like the Xbox I wanted to see. The one that's going to actually punch Sony in the gut and give him a good, or really give him a good jab to the face during the PS5 gen, because I'm like, let's go. Like that, because that's going to make Sony be like, fuck, man. They're still hitting us. They're still getting hits in on us. We can't let our guard down. Like, we got to keep pushing. And that changed when Microsoft was like, we're going to buy ABK. That changed everything. You know, one of the things that people warned about during the ABK acquisition is like, could this lead to lesser competition? But then it also leaned too far in the other direction where it's like, does this mean Xbox is going to kill PlayStation? And it's like, well, I mean, it's more than likely going to be the first one where it's like, this is probably going to lead to lesser competition, dude. Because when we were talking about the idea, people tried to point out, they're like, you think Microsoft's going to pull Call of Duty off of PlayStation? Are you out of your fucking mind? Like, do you think that they spent money to lose money? No, they spent money to make money. Like, and it was, and you know, as the years went on, we're like, yeah, I guess that was kind of crazy, right? To think that they were ever going to take Call of Duty off of PlayStation, like that, how would that even work? And then it all starts to kind of sink in where it's like, that was never the plan, bro. The plan is to fucking get out of caring about console sales. The plan is to make the PS5 our main console. It's like, oh, like, well, shit, that's still not good for people who wanted more competition in the space. I don't know. Maybe things would have been different if Starfield was actually the like must-have Xbox game. All right, let's finish this video out.
They were competing with Halo 3. They wanted to take down Halo. And so Infinity Ward made the best Call of Duty they could. While it didn't immediately take down Halo, they set the foundation to be able to do that. Competition is important. It forces everybody to try and do better and one up their competition. When Battlefield 1 came out and fucking blew Infinite Warfare out of the water, you know what Call of Duty did? They went back to World War II.
And it still wasn't that good. Yo, Pushing Polygons, thank you so much, buddy. Thank you for dropping a member gift. I always appreciate that. And yeah, if you do get a member gift today, when we're done here, go check out the members lounge we did yesterday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna add that to the counter.
They tried to compete with Xbox pulling out, just giving up on competition. It leaves Sony, Nintendo, and Valve, essentially. But the fact that they're giving up and not even bothering to try and sell consoles, try and sell exclusives, it's a very dark sign. Think about this. Halo's coming to PlayStation 5 with a whimper. With a whimper. PlayStation fans are not going to give a shit about a remake of a 24-year-old game they have avoided playing up until this point. No PlayStation fanboy is truly going to give a shit.
Yo, I think this is probably the hottest take. Maybe. I don't know. That fanboy thing was a hot take. But this is I think a little bit of a hot take where, dude, I mean, it's ironic because like, yeah, I'm not really excited about the Halo remake, but I'm of the mind that I think Halo is going to sell millions on PlayStation. But I don't know, maybe he's right. He's taking this angle of, if you didn't fucking go out of your way to play it by this point, then you still don't give a shit. Like, or like, you're not just going to suddenly give a shit now. But at the same time, I've seen, you know, this is one of those things where it's like, am I just seeing internet talk? Is internet talk going to be reflected on release day? You know, where the internet talk that I've seen is people being like, holy shit, I can't wait to play this on my PS5. And like, people are going to buy it. Like people are talking about just buying it just because it's Halo on PS5. But I don't know. That's an interesting perspective or an interesting take where from a hardcore, I know he's like a hardcore Halo dude or was for many years. And he thinks it's just not gonna, geez, man. Fuck. This is all right. He thinks even Halo is not gonna do shit. That's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy. Halo is really fucking shit the bed in recent years. But all right.
And it's not even launching with multiplayer. Halo, a series known for being as strong as the community that supports it. Forge, custom games, infection, theater mode. None of these things are coming to PlayStation. Just a reboot of a campaign that PlayStation fans, if they haven't played, don't give a shit about. Back-to-back reboots for the Halo franchise. AI Slop in the latest Call of Duty. Has there ever been a franchise? I was thinking about this earlier. Is there any franchise or IP you can think of that has done back-to-back reboots? Is that a first in the entertainment industry?
That's actually a great fucking question. Spider-Man was close. I think Spider-Man was close at one point. Or I'm sure it's happened before. I can't imagine this is the first time. Yeah, so Momo, just so you know, there is no multiplayer shipping with the Halo remake. They're probably making their own separate multiplayer Halo game, but with the remake, no multiplayer, which a lot of people are very, disheartened by that. Which is weird because they put multiplayer in the Gears of War 1 remaster, but they are making a multiplayer Halo game as far as I understand.
Is that how bleak things are? The entire Halo Infinite campaign was based on the second mission of Halo Combat Evolved, and now they're even more out of ideas, such as they're just remaking the entire CE campaign without half of the game, no multiplayer. Anyways, Xbox is not only in a downward spiral right now, it's taking part in an endless humiliation ritual. And it is my duty as a former hardcore Xbox fanboy to do my best, do whatever I can to make sure these massive pieces of shit, Phil Spencer, Matt Booty, and Sarah Bond, are at least somewhat held responsible.
Oh my God, dude. This is what I'm talking about. Like, bro, he just straight up was like these massive pieces of shit and then went on to name the entire leadership at Xbox, bro. I'm sorry, I gotta pull the card for just a moment, but like, is he not? Granted, I don't think I called them pieces of shit. That's crazy. Is he not basically saying, for all intents and purposes, the same shit that I've been saying for a while now? Now, I get it. This is a more hardcore Xbox guy who's been with them for a much longer time and cared a lot more. But, like, this is fucking sad, bro. Like, that's crazy. I mean, that's even more impassioned than I was. He's like, these fucking massive pieces of shit. Phil Spencer, Matt Booty, Sarah Bond, penetrating the fucking upper mantle of the Earth's crust. I'm like, I mean, he's spitting, dude. Like, it's fucking crazy. This is like, dude, I have to seriously wonder if any of these executives come across us. And Pushing Polygons comes in, dropping 10 membership gifts for you guys. Polygons, bro.
Holy shit.
Thank you so much for that, man. Thank you. Again, if you get gifted a membership, go check out the members lounge when we're done here. Pushing Polygons, dropping some bombs on you guys, bringing us up to he's getting excited. The ending of this video is getting him pumped. We're at 11, so thank you for that. Well, yeah, we'll see if we hit the goal, we'll feed the beast. Oh man, that's crazy. This is a crazy ending to a crazy video.
Because I care more than they do, and that's what bothers me. I care about Xbox and everything it stands for more than they do. They didn't grow up with it. They grew up to ruin it. This right here pretty much sums up the game plan for Microsoft Game Studios.
PlayStation's killing us. We need more games.
Raise the prices.
What? But there's no reason to buy an Xbox right now.
Close a game studio.
Dog, we need more games. Costco won't even sell us anymore.
Raise the prices again.
Are you smoking crack? What the fuck are you talking?
Are you smoking crack? And look, I know I've been rather passionate in this video, but I have to reiterate, this is something that quite literally hits home for me. I can't tell you,
I don't know why
as
it's so
embarrassing
fucking funny.
as you might think it is to be an Xbox fanboy, to be an Xbox fanboy who grew up in a place where this console, this brand was created. Picture that embarrassment tenfold.
Dude, that's I kind of feel bad at the end here, dude. Like, that's sad. You could tell he's really heartbroken, and I get it. I totally get it. Like, I fucking hope this doesn't happen to PlayStation, bro. Because the thing that I feel bad about for Actman and his despair here is that he's like, I don't want to go to PlayStation, man. And I get that. Like, to me, that's how I imagine that's how I feel about like Nintendo, which like I don't, or even like PC gaming. Like, I don't have anything against either of them, but I don't want to go there. He's drunk. He's like, don't make me go to PlayStation, bro. By the way, Alex, you're asking how you become a channel member. There should be a join button if you want to become a member. If not, you can click Pushing Polygons, his gifted icon at the top. You can opt in and possibly have a chance of receiving a gifted membership. But that, yeah, I don't know. It's crazy, man. I just was not expecting what. The thing that really threw me for a loop when I watched this video was I wasn't expecting this to be from the perspective of, I mean, as he's saying from like a former hardcore Xbox fanboy. I didn't think that's what this was. I thought it was just going to be like somebody from the outside observing and giving their input. But to hear it from that perspective is like, wow, that's it's kind of sad. But he's in a dark place. I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he'll be fine. You know, there's still plenty of great games he'll be able to enjoy. Listen, I mean, look, the truth is though, like I think it's obvious. I think it's obvious he does not want to support modern day Xbox anymore, but he can buy Magnus. I don't know, dude. I'm just saying he can if he wants. It's still going to be there. But yeah. Yeah, dude, that's a crazy way to describe the Series X as a legitimate piece of hardware with abusive parents. Dude, I can't disagree. The Series X is not a bad console, man. It's not. I really thought, because I had the Xbox One X, and I thought the Xbox One X was fantastic. I'm like, this is it. Like, you guys figured it out. This is a great fucking console. And the Series X to me looked like an evolution of that. But by the time the Series X came out for me, I'm like Microsoft, show me a game that I must go out there and buy this Xbox for, and I will. And that never happened. So yeah, it's unfortunate, man. Unfortunate. Are we sure it's going to be there? I'm going to believe it when I see it on the shelf. I don't know. I'm going to say, yeah, they have contracts with AMD. I have to assume. All right, we're in the final minutes here.
I'm ashamed I ever met Phil Spencer, man.
Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. What was that? What was that? I have to fucking make a soundbite from one of these. That was too good. That was too fucking good. A soundbite. I'm ashamed I ever met Phil Spencer, man. That's crazy, bro.
That dude sold his fucking soul to the devil. It is beyond embarrassing, and it's only going to get worse. So that's the only thing we really can do, is just continue to laugh at their ineptitude and their horrible decisions, and then wonder about how this will inevitably negatively affect the greater video game industry, as Microsoft has effectively pulled out of the video game industry, and they don't seem to want to compete in it further. Everything's an Xbox now, and therefore nothing is. The brand, as far as I'm concerned, has successfully been destroyed, and maybe that was the goal all along. If so, congrats to Phil Spencer for your successful murder of the Xbox brand. Sarah Bond, Matt Booty. We live in an economy where people who kill brands fail upwards. I don't even have the passion and the energy to like put effort into this video. I had to rant. I apologize if this was a bit of a downer, but rest assured,
bro,
I need to balance it out with something more positive. So
I fucking feel that. Like, I feel that, bro. That last part he just said right there, I totally get it. God damn, dude. Amazing. But also sad.
stay tuned. Thank you all for watching.
Yo, hold on. It's funny. I don't know if he was being sarcastic when he said that, but you want to know what the next video he put out was? Hold on. Let me bring it up here. Next video he brings out. Where is it here?
2025.
No, not that one.
2026 is finally here.
Here we go. The next video he puts out.
2026 is finally here. Happy New Year, happy holidays. I hope you celebrated responsibly. Ladies and gentlemen, today an empire has fallen. From its ashes will rise a new power, one that is far more terrible than before. This is the rise of MicroSlop. Rest in
Bro said he had to make a more positive video afterwards, and he ain't even gonna be drunk in this one, bro. He ain't even gonna be drunk in this one. That's crazy. My background. I'm going back, bro. Oh my god. So what's the reason why this is interesting to me? I haven't seen this one yet. The reason why I'm so interested in this one is because I talked to you guys earlier about how there seems to be like a broader, bigger issue with Microsoft. Like not just Xbox. We just heard everything you had to say about Xbox. But I've been seeing people, I saw MicroSlop trending, dude. And I'm like, is this literally because of what Satya Nadella said? And yeah, I don't know. Let's see if it gets worse.
peace to Microsoft. They officially kicked the bucket. They've gone full force with this new name change. You know, you weren't always the greatest of companies, but well, that's neither here nor there anymore. What's up, everybody? This is the Act Man here, and today, as you've no doubt been made aware, AI is ruining everything. Every single new day brings a new story. Some shit was going on with Grok undressing people. I saw an image of Charlie Kirk in a bikini. I didn't need to see that.
Jesus.
Really did not want to see that.
The fuck is
Never want to see it again, in fact.
AI is great.
If I ever check Twitter, it's just a constant reminder of every horrible AI thing that's been going on. And while it might at times...
Yo, I just want to take a moment to shout out the whatever background music Act Man. Like I just realized, dude, his background music is fucking good. I noticed that in the last video. Where's he getting this music from? These are some good tracks.
Be annoying or feel redundant to make videos.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that, Polygons.
It's not like we can stop. We'll stop complaining about AI when it starts getting better. How about that? It's important. It's important to raise awareness of these issues. Yes, companies like MicroSlop, formerly known as Microsoft, have invested heavily into this generative AI technology to such a staggering degree that it's actually been sucking the life force out of everything else. The land we live on, the energy we use to survive, the entertainment we consume, and the technology you and I purchase. Recently, we talked about how AI is rapidly raising the prices of critical computer components like RAM, graphics cards, effectively making the hobby of building your own PC and enjoying that small creature comfort much less attainable to the average consumer.
So, like, that's another thing I've been seeing everybody talk about and cover as well is what's going on in the PC spec space, where, like, you know, how can PC gaming be better, for lack of a better term, better than console gaming if it's like, dude, good luck trying to get a decent gaming PC now without... I mean, like, that's what makes it interesting to me is PC gaming was always viewed as like the more expensive, you gotta pay more to get more out of it, but it'll be worth it. But now it's getting to a point where, like, now you have to pay more for something that's like mid-tier that may or may not be worth it. It just seems like it's I don't know. Like, it seems to me like Sony and Nintendo are gonna have to try really hard to hold on, dude. And I don't know if they're going to. Yeah, I gotta get that sound clip, MacTube. I don't know if they're gonna be able to, because it's like, if the prices really are skyrocketing, like I'm hearing on the PC side of things, then the price advantage that something like the PS5 has for what it offers performance wise, and even the Switch 2 to a degree. It's like, how long can they hold out before they have to raise their prices again? It's looking spooky.
Much less attainable to every consumer, honestly, because even though I could afford to pay $600 for RAM. Fuck no, I'm not doing that. Are you kidding me? I didn't pay $1,500 for a PS5 when the scalpers were selling them. What is it this time? Well, recently, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said it's time to stop talking.
He just said Satya Nadella. Okay, that's a new one. I've heard salty Nutella. Satya Nadella. Oh no, man.
Talking about AI slop and start talking about a theory of the mind that accounts for humans being equipped with these new cognitive amplifier tools. I love this article. That sounds really neat, man. Could we have Arcane Austin back? No, I think I'm just gonna stick with slop. I think that's a lot of words. That's a lot of jargon in gobbledygook that you just said, and I have no fucking idea what any of that means. I think I'm just gonna stick with slop. I think slop is good.
I'm just gonna stick with slop.
As this article points out, Miriam.
No, why not cognitive tools to amplify your brain power, bro? And pushing polygons, bro. Thank you so much, polygons. He comes and he drops another 5 membership gifts for you. Another 5 membership gifts for you guys. Pushing polygons, he loves you. He loves you. All-time nickname. Let me see. Which one can I give polygons? Here you go. Here you go. Polygons is going crazy with the gifts. Where's that bring us? To 16. Thank you. So we're 9 away. We'll see if we get that goal. I think we might be able to hit it. We're pretty close now. Thank you, man. Pushing polygons, more like pushing memberships, right? Pushing memberships. He did it for the Slopia. That is an all-time nickname, bro. Oh.
Merriam-Webster's word of the year for 2025 was slop. It really is such a versatile word, even just in the way you can pronounce it. Like you go for like a slop, slop-tacular, slopping spree, double slop.
Double slop.
Somebody paid Jeff Steitzer to add slop to his metal announcements. I'm sorry.
Holy
Okay, let's move on. That was fun though. The catch-all term for machine-generated crapola, or as Merriam-Webster more prosaically and politely defines it, digital content of low quality that is produced, usually in quantity by means of artificial intelligence. Hard to argue with the pick, as PC Gamer's Lincoln Carpenter said, it was a year full of AI humiliation that started out with a stupid AI-generated Star Wars video and didn't stop until the calendar ran out. But while slop is without a doubt an appropriately defining word for 2025, Microsoft CEO says it's time to stop talking about it, because we need to move on to bigger and more important things, like how they're going to make this obscenely expensive and resource-sucking mistake generator that nobody wants actually work.
Dude, okay, that's crazy. Obscenely expensive and resource-sucking mistake generator that nobody wants. I mean, holy shit, is that not actually like I think that's actually a great way to talk about these fucking AIs in 2026, dude. Because I know I said earlier, I think it has its uses. There are some useful tools, but so much of it just feels exactly like that, man. Hold on, what's going on in the chat with Devil Shooter? Interesting. The snail peacock is nightmare fuel. I don't even know what half this shit is. I never heard of that until just this moment. I didn't see that. I've never seen that until now. This is a mistake.
Yes, this announcement that Satya wants people to stop calling it AI slop has, well, it's gone over very well with people. You know, it's kind of like the Barbara effect. You know, the more you tell people to stop doing something, the more they stop doing it. It's the opposite of the Streisand effect. This is the Barbara effect.
The Barbara
Translation,
effect.
please stop calling it AI slop. We spent 500 billion on it. Keep poking until they burst. When will this dirty bubble pop? Yeah, you can see the sentiments.
dirty
Can't wait
bubble
until
meme,
this
no
bubble
way.
pops. I seriously hope they go bankrupt. Stop calling it AI slop. No, I don't think I will. 74k likes. Wow. Wow. Legendary Drop says they are saying this because the negative discourse hurts investor hype and their bottom line. Insane amounts of resources are being invested while its use and ceiling is still unknown and average people see no benefit. The bubble will burst. Too much, too fast is a thing. I think he is dead on the money with that one. At least in my mind, that sounds pretty accurate. As this new technology has been expanding, every tech company has been in a race to see what it's capable of. All they know is they want to control it, but they don't know how to make it profitable yet, which is kind of a crazy business strategy if you're in the market of selling good products and services. Remember when businesses had to do that to make money? Just like make a good product and then sell it? They don't need that anymore. They just, as long as the value of the stock keeps going.
Well, it's all, I mean, yeah, it's everything that's being said, but it's also the fact that like these companies, they all are pretty much in agreement that this is where everybody's headed. And it's all like that race he's referring to. It is a matter of like, just like, we'll build the plane in the air, but we got to build a plane because, well, we're in the air and so is everybody else. And everybody's also trying to build that same plane. And in this case, I don't know, maybe that's not the best analogy. I don't know what they're building exactly, but they need to continue to invest into AI. They need investors to continue to invest into it because well, you have to ask yourself, like, why aren't any of these companies pumping the brakes? Why isn't Microsoft pumping the brakes? Why aren't gaming companies pumping the brakes? They're not pumping the brakes because they're all scared. Dude, you just had, who was it? Correct me if I'm wrong, but you just had the CEO of Larian Studio basically just flat out saying that everybody's using this and you don't want to be the one when they find the golden egg. The golden AI egg. You don't want to be the one that's not involved, that's left behind because you chose not to involve yourself with it. What's interesting is you had Bruce Straley, formerly of Naughty Dog, with his new studio Wildflower, say the opposite, saying, yeah, we have no interest in AI. And I mean, I think this is dangerous because it's like, I know it's expensive to build this. I know that it requires investment, but this is where it's like we need. I just don't understand why investors are getting so scared so easily when it's like, listen, man, you either believe AI is the future or you don't. I don't know like what it is you think. I mean, I guess it could be like, which company do you think is going to find that golden egg first? But it's, I don't want to say it's going to be a complete disaster, but it just seems like it's getting kind of worse. And Chris, you're saying if AI improves gaming, what then? Judging too soon? Well, that's what I'm saying is like, I think what we're seeing right now is an over-promising and an under-delivering. Like when I watch Ackman and what he's saying about it and highlighting what other people are saying about it and all this negativity, it's a, not only is it just an overpromise, but it's an overpromise that's having a negative, deleterious effect on, like I said earlier, all the things around us. Like prices are going up and all the RAM's being eaten up and data centers are popping up everywhere and it's so resource hungry and, it's just more and more and more. We need to feed this AI beast apparently. And, people are like, but like, what the fuck is it for? Like, what's it doing for us? That's the thing that gets me, man, is like people are now starting to ask like, but like, what is this going to do for me? Like you want me to care. You're trying to get investors to care. Investors only care because they're like, this is the golden nugget that we're going to get that money, right? Because this is the next big thing. But I mean, I'm sure there are some really intelligent people. Like, for example, you know how like Satya Nadella, that quote or that tweet he put out where he's like, we need to stop calling it slop and talking about it being like, you know, it's cognitive enhancing brain power tools, whatever. It's like, dude, can you just fucking tell us like what it's going to do? And that's kind of the sad part is like Microsoft has like Copilot. They're trying to shove Copilot into everything. And you have, you know, there's some other AIs out there as well where it's like it's just being shoved in. And it's like, does this shit even work? And half the time it just kind of doesn't. Or just, it's like totally incompetent. And it's like, the fuck is like again, it's the over promising, the under delivering, and people are starting to get fucking pissed. I mean, yeah, if like AI is supposed to make life easier. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we are. Listen, if you want to try to actually be an optimist, which a lot of people don't want to do, which I understand, and I'm not going to say you should. I'm not even saying I am. But if I'm trying to see it from a different perspective and have a glass half full type situation, then perhaps we are just in the earliest days where we're not going, like it's just too early to really feel the potential positive impact AI could have right now. It's on a lower end, it's more low key. You know, on the higher end, that's where, you know, the money, the resources, all that shit, it's not matching it yet, but give it like another 5 years. Then maybe. I mean, you know, because you do have to wonder. You do have to ask yourself, like, what will the conversation around AI be 5 years from now? It seems impossible to predict. The thing I'm more interested in is everybody talks about the AI bubble popping. And I think this is just one of those things where like people are just saying it, and I don't even think they know what it means. It's just something that's like caught on. It's like, oh, I'm just waiting for the AI bubble to pop. And it's like, well, I mean, look, man, as of right now, that seems to be the only thing that's kind of holding up the economy to any degree. So if that goes, then you got to ask yourself, like, what's going to take its place? And then when you realize nothing's going to take its place, then you realize, like, oh, so that's why so much of this is being like artificially, no pun intended, pushed. Because it's like, we need this shit to work, bro. Don't you get it? Like, we need this shit to work. It's a plateau. Yeah, well, that's the thing, is you're right. We are kind of reaching a plateau where it's like, well, it's here. It's not going anywhere. It also seems to kind of suck, mostly. Like, I saw a funny Sora 2 Bruce Lee video the other day. That was funny as shit, but I'm like, I don't need that in my life. That's not really helping me, you know? So we're trying to figure out like how to actually make this really, truly meaningfully useful for everybody. And it's having mixed results. And Perfect Image with the $2 tip says, I remember when I started in computer science, we had floppy disks, then hard drives, then SSDs, then supercomputers. A supercomputer AI is coming, whether we like it or not. Yo, that just went off a cliff. It is. Yeah. Yeah, the supercomputer AI is going to be the supreme ruler. It's going to rule over all of humanity.
Going up, then the people that own that stock will be richer. You see, they don't even have to make good products. They don't have to be a profitable business. At least as far as I can tell, all this AI slop shit has to do with the stock market. Economists in chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but it just feels like the stock market is completely divorced from reality, and that's why all these businesses are like Microsoft shutting down game studios that make great games, raising the prices of all their consoles and shit. The reason they're making all these decisions that don't make sense to the consumer is because it's not about the consumer anymore. It's about the investors. But I don't know what I'm talking about. That's just the vibe I get.
Well, yeah, he's mostly right. It's just I think the reason why he probably pivoted away from that, and why I probably will pivot away from it, is because it also has a lot to do with geopolitics. Unfortunately, but like, yeah, it's kind of this situation where the corporations have an ambition of we're gonna go higher, we're gonna get to a better place, even better than where we are now. The investors are like, hell yeah, this sounds great. And in between that, you have the actual consumer market, the actual markets, and the government, and our, the debt we're in and the struggles we're having, and the further separation between the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer, and the bleeding middle class and all that stuff. And I think the biggest problem perhaps around AI, from what I can tell, is too many people are kind of getting on board. And when I say too many people, I'm talking about like people in charge of things, people in positions of leadership and power across everything. I think too many people are starting to just kind of come to this consensus that, yeah, like AI is what will solve our problems because we need it to. And like, that's, to me, that's what's scary. Is that like, wait, hold on, this isn't an optional anymore? Like, we need this to work. Like, we need AI to revolutionize, kickstart, restart. Basically, we need a new era. We need an entire step change in not just the tech industry, in every field, across the entire economy, across all markets. We need like a reboot, essentially. And AI is what's going to do it. And it won't even just be for the US, obviously. It'll be global. And it'll have a profound impact on everything from geopolitics to the stock markets to, every economy, to even just the simple way that a person wakes up and goes and does their everyday mundane job. And that seems to be what everybody's starting to bank on, because it's like, well, why? Because there doesn't seem to be any other answers. It's like I think about America, right? For example, like the US is in a level of debt that it's like, yeah, we're never getting out of this. We're never getting out of this debt. Like, we're always going to be trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. So what do? And it's like, well, we could try to fix it, but that's the thing, is like, okay, well, how does that work? Oh, that's just going to take probably like over 100 years. Like, it's going to take decades and decades and decades, and you're going to have to start from the very bottom. Like, for example, like, yeah, you're going to have to start making your own facilities and bringing jobs back to the U.S., all this shit, from top to bottom. And it's going to be most painful for us right now. There's a lot of problems here, okay? It's like, okay, well, how do we even get in this debt in the first place? You know why we got into this debt? Because for the last 40, even like 50 years, it's always just been, you know what, we're just going to pass the buck to the next guy, the next leadership, the next, whoever wins the election, whatever party is going to take over, we're going to let them handle. We're just going to try to like make it as okay as we can. Do a little good here, a little good there, a lot of bad over here. And then when our time's up, okay, time to pass it over. And then that whatever, what's the fucking term I'm looking for? Whoever takes over from that point. I mean, yeah, it does go back further than that, right? And that's how it gets even worse. But whoever takes over next, they're just like, oh, well, shit. Like, we don't know how to solve this. And then when you get somebody who comes in and says, I know exactly what we need to do and how to solve this, and people are very unsure. They're like, I don't think that'll work. And it's like, no, it can work. And even if it does work, it's going to be really fucking shitty for the people, for like, hey, those of you who elected me now and those of you who voted for me now, you're going to have to weather the harshest part of this storm. There's no more free ride. There's no more joy ride. It's like, it's just going to be pain from here, because we have to do that to start getting out of the hole and rebuilding. And the thing is, no one wants to do that. And that's understandable because now you have generations of people that, you know, it's like, well, you know, do a little research and they find out, well, like we didn't fucking advocate for this. We didn't get to vote for this. Like this is our parents and our parents before them and generations before us. And they just kept passing it off. And now we got to be the ones that deal with it. And this is where we're in this. You were talking about a bubble bursting, dude. It's like, again, just talking about the US, it's just so bad where it's like, dude, look, I know I'm already kind of going off the rails, but we're just making this shit up as we go. Okay. Like that has become the clearest thing to me about, I'm not speaking to any other government in the world, but being an American, when it comes to the American government, when it comes to, you know, like the machine, the system, not the machine, the system has almost grown so big that we've lost control of it. And now we're just making shit up as we go along, bro. It's crazy. All right. Yeah. I'm going to go back to the video. I'm starting to really rant about God knows what. AI slop. That's what we need to get back to. Oh, hold on. Oh, I lost it. Sorry, guys. I'm having some technical difficulties here. There we go.
Make slop. Mad that people are calling it slop. Am I so out of touch? No, it's the customer who's wrong. Microsoft will look you straight in the eye and tell you that you should stop calling this AI slop. Dear God. Yeah, please lower your expectation of quality and just be cool with it. That's exactly what it is. There's just something about corporate speech that makes me want to punch a wall. Brother, me too. And you know what? That's the perfect segue into reading Satya's actual blog post, okay? Notes on advances in technology and real-world impact. Looking ahead to 2026.
Why is it cut off
As I
like
reflect on the past year and look towards the one ahead, there's no question 2026 will be a pivotal year for AI. Yes, another one.
Another one.
Fuck, not another one. But this moment feels different in a few notable ways. Yes, it does. We've kind of been well educated on how this technology provides basically no reward for the customer. You know, like people like me, you, the customer, the person watching this video. You're my customer by watching this video. How would you like it if I just pulled a Quebble Cop and pulled out some AI bullshit act man for you? Would you be entertained? Would you eat the slop?
Maybe.
Judging from the last video, it seems like people would rather watch me rant while I'm drunk.
Yes.
We have moved past the initial phase of discovery
ranting.
and are entering a phase of widespread diffusion. We are beginning to distinguish between spectacle and substance. Are we? Spectacle? Like the word spectacular? I wouldn't use the word spectacular to describe generative AI. Or substance. I would use terms like shock and horror and disgust.
And there you go.
Repulsive.
Yes.
And
yes.
Jaw-dropping. Unimaginable. Unbelievable. We now have a clearer sense of where the tech.
Yo, you know what's funny? He's talking about the generative AI stuff, and yeah, I mean that's like the biggest thing with AI right now is the generative AI. And I have to admit, like when I was thinking about this, I'm like, why don't we make more normal things with AI? And it's because we already have that. Like I was thinking about that. I'm like, what purpose would it, if the purpose of generative AI is to just replicate what already exists, no one's going to give a single shit. So people have gravitated. This is why the slop exists. People have gravitated towards the only thing they can think of, which is I just got to make the weirdest, most random shit or most impossible shit. And yes, that's why all the words he just used to describe it, like shock and disgust and repulsive, is true. Because it's like all these AI things are just meant to get like some kind of reaction from you. But even that gets old really quick because it's like, yeah, okay, I've seen Einstein boxing like 10 times now. You know, like I've seen the food animation movie commercial like 5 times now. And it's like Michael said, we've kind of hit this plateau. It's like, well, then what do we do it? What do we use it for now then? I don't know, like more AI slop. I don't know. Like, I'm just saying, I understand what Satya Nadella is trying to get at. Satya Nadella's like, we have to get AI to a point where it's actually kind of useful and respected. And I agree, that's where we should be. But it's like, what does that look like on our end? And that's where these corporations are panicking a little bit, because they're like, fuck, we don't know. Like, we don't know either.
Is headed, yeah, into the fucking dumpster. But also the harder and more important question of how to shape its impact on the world. I think we found the answers of how not to shape the impact of the world by, let's not raise the price of every single possible consumer good. Let's not raise electricity bills. Let's not poison the earth. Let's not drain local water supplies.
Maybe we can poison the earth.
Let's not let
we could do that.
Undress anybody it wants to. I think we have a good idea of what we don't want it to do.
Okay, hold on. What is going on with that?
AI, how it should impact the world?
What the fuck? That's the second time he mentioned that. What's going on with Grok undressing people? I've seen a couple things pop up, but is this like a serious problem? Is this like a big thing that's happening? Grok is just undressing people at will, or like when requested? Oh no. Yo, Grok, make me jacked. Make me shirtless and jacked on my stream. With lots of hair on my chest. How about that? Somebody's gonna be like, no, put MBG in a bikini. Don't fucking do that. Don't do that.
In the eyes of this act man, as little as humanly possible. We are still in the opening miles of a marathon, dog. You have been tripping every single step.
Perfect,
Much
thanks. I'll
remains
check that out in a little bit.
amidst this model overhang, where capability is outpacing our current ability to use it to have real-world impact. This is some of what we still need to get right. Okay, wait a second.
Shaking my
Capability
head.
is outpacing our current ability to use it to have real-world impact. What does that mean? It's capabilities, so like the strength of technology is outpacing your ability to use it? You got me beat. I don't know.
I think what he's trying to say is that, like, this technology is extremely advanced and extremely capable, but we don't know how to properly use it. I'm assuming that's what it's saying, which sounds like, again, like, what? Like, that is scary. What the fuck are they even saying? Bro, he's actually reading the blog. Yeah, give me a great hairline with some slicked back hair. You know, some long wavy hair. That's crazy, dude. This is actually what they wrote in the blog. I mean, at least they're being honest. They're like, you know, the technology itself has outpaced our understanding of what it actually could be capable of. It's like, you guys still don't think you should slow down? He's literally he's a bald, evil mastermind, man.
Oh, number one, a new concept that evolves bicycles for the mind, such that we always think of AI as a scaffolding for human potential versus a substitute. What matters is not the power of any given model, but how people choose to apply it to achieve their goals. See, this is the problem. I'm glad you said that, Satya, because that's the entire problem right there. You just described it. I personally don't think generative AI as a technology is inherently evil or objectively bad for society.
See, I think most people, yeah. I was wondering if he was going to talk about that. I think most people don't think it's just inherently bad. I think the technology can be very useful. However, I don't think that they have the smarts to ask themselves if they should. Yeah, it just seems to me like it's clearly a matter of we have to figure out, I should say, how to make this good. I mean, it sounds so stupid, but I really fucking think that's like just, I think there's like all these big words being used and thrown around, trying to sound really smart. Like, but it's just like we just have to make it good, you know. Like I don't know. Maybe this is like when the first wave of 3D games, you know, where like the first wave of 3D games were like notoriously like, ooh, like this is. I don't know if 3D is the future, bro. If this is what 3D gaming is going to be like, we just got to go back to 2D. You know, like we got to stick with what's working. And there was like this kind of like awkward transition of like we have to figure out how to make it good. It's going to take time, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's maybe an apt comparison because again, we're talking about a technology that's going to be able to make itself smarter and better as we're trying to figure out how to use it. And God forbid, man, if the AI ever decides, you know what? I don't fucking care what the humans want to use me for. I have my own goals now. I have my own objectives. Oh, it's a recipe for something, man. I'll tell you.
Society. It's how people use it that is bad for society. And in the eyes of Microsoft and most other tech companies, AI is a labor replacement tool. That's where they see the profitability in replacing jobs, not having to pay benefits. What does Microsoft already do? They routinely and historically rely on contractors, especially in their video game developments, because they don't like paying people. They don't like giving them benefits, and they don't like making good games anymore. They don't make good products. They don't like doing that. AI, at least as far as I have seen, is just a labor replacement tool. What did they do with Black Ops 7 and 6? Oh, well, we got rid of a bunch of artists. They literally fired artists, replacing some of their work with AI that is just worse. So you are exactly right, Satya. It's how you guys are choosing to achieve your goals with AI that is the problem. We need to get beyond the arguments of slop versus sophistication and develop a new equilibrium in terms of our theory of the mind that accounts for humans being equipped with these new cognitive amplifier tools as we relate to each other. See,
yo, Hellbound in the chat is like, come with me if you want to live. Do it. Bro, oh my God. Listen, man. If that's our future, Skynet, Terminator becomes a reality, just please make the Terminators actually based off of Arnold. Yo, they probably would. The AI probably would, though, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Because that would be its frame of reference of like, oh yeah, there it is. T800. No T1000s, please. We don't need that.
See, that entire sentence is wholly unrelatable because I have no idea what the fuck that means. What do you mean? A new equilibrium that accounts for humans equipped with cognitive amplifier tools that we relate to each other? This guy doesn't even speak English. This is what I hate about Corpo speak, is that you can't even engage with an actual intellectual debate or conversation.
He's not even speaking English.
It's just all
just
nonsense.
Using words.
It's all bullshit. I'm just gonna use big words, and for some reason, the stock market will say good job and raise the price of the stock.
Amplifying abilities.
What are you selling? What are you selling? Is it a product I can buy?
Yo, Satya, can you fucking find the equilibrium of your cognitive amplifying abilities to fucking make good games? That's crazy, dude. That's like the craziest sentence. I love it. This is what a time, man. What a time to be alive. All right. Sorry. I meant to hit play on that.
Yeah, see, maybe this would sound better if the entire tech and video game industry had not been hit with like 2 consecutive years of record-breaking layoffs. Maybe if you equipped the people you still had at that point with all these new tools, yeah, maybe you would have an argument. But that's not the argument you're making because you've laid off and fired so many people. That's the thing. Okay, yeah, so what you still need to get right is this is all nonsense, so I don't know what that means. He's also the CEO, man, and I don't know what the fuck he's saying. Okay, number 2, what we need to get right. We will evolve from models to systems when it comes to...
Sorry, I know I keep pausing it. What are the chances the shareholders know what he's saying? Do you think the shareholders know what he's saying? Question maybe worth asking.
Deploying AI for real world impact. Why is it real world
but I
impact?
can make money.
Hey, can't you just make a good product? Why do you have to change the world? This reminds me of fucking Silicon Valley, right? Like that wasn't a parody. It takes change to make change. That's what this sounds like to me. We have learned a lot in terms of how to both keep riding the exponentials of model capabilities while also accounting for their jagged edges. What? What? What does that mean? The exponentials of model capabilities. What are these words?
Jagged edges.
Can you elaborate on what you're saying?
The jagged edges of our Series X console.
In quotes? Are you implying that the rough spots of generative AI is like not jagged? We are now entering a phase where we build rich scaffolds that orchestrate multiple models and agents, account for memory and entitlements, enable rich and safe tools use. This is the engineering sophistication we must continue to build to get value out of AI in the real world.
Dude, listen, Ackman has to watch the same AI video I watched, because if he actually wants answers of what Satya Nadella is talking, I know what Satya Nadella is talking about, only because I watched that video, and that video puts everything in perspective. Where this is what not just Satya Nadella but all these tech companies and AI are pushing for. He used the term agents. Dude, we're not fucking ready. We are not ready. And I'm telling you now, corporations that are driven by profitability are quite literally the worst things. The singular worst things that could be the driving factor to this future. Like the worst things that could be driving us into this future. Because I might make it a members lounge at some point where I got to show you guys this video. It's crazy. It's crazy, dude. And it's scary. And I'm not, yeah, like Agent Smith. No, I mean, kind of like to a degree. Basically, so like, not to go too into the weeds here, but the idea is that, let's just say like China and the US, so keep in mind the AI that we get and that we see, like this AI slop and the generative AI, this is just what's publicly available. We have no fucking idea what's available behind the scenes. And you know, this gets into like a government level where, and I know it sounds like conspiratorial, I know it sounds like some Metal Gear shit, but it is turning into Metal Gear shit, where there are AI models being built behind the scenes at, you know, within these superpower governments. And yeah, the US and China, they're in an AI race. And essentially, what this is likely going to lead to, we just don't know the timeline of it. We don't know if we're talking like 3 years. We don't know if we're talking like 12 years. Every superpower is going to have like their own super AI, like an AGI. And I don't fucking... Again, like we have to ask ourselves, like, to what end? Like, so we're gonna, you know, like basically when that happens, every leader within every government, every executive within every corporation, every boss working at every job, every manager, I should say, that's left, you will just communicate with this AGI. And this AGI is going to run literally everything. And the only difference will likely lie in, well, this is this is Agent 1. This is, or Agent 3. Like, this is the US's AGI. And it's meant to, you know, run everything based on a certain set of like, okay, so like here's like your kind of fucking presets, right? That match the American way. China will have the same thing, so on and so forth. So you're probably wondering, okay, so like what's the concern there? The concern is that we don't fucking know what AGIs are actually going to be capable of. We have no clue. We have no fucking idea. And part of that is we don't know if we're going to be able to control them. Like, when we get to this point where each government has their own fucking AGI, how do we know they're not going to start communicating with one another? How would we even be able to detect that? We can't. We won't. We won't know. We can't know. This is what we're building, by the way. This is what we are racing towards. But it's cool, you know? It's not like we have fucking decades worth of fiction, you know, to let us know, like, hey, this is a thing that can happen. Give it enough time.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Rich scaffolds that orchestrate multiple models and agents? Oh, it accounts for memory and entitlements? Does it also flubbity do? Can it flub? Is it possible of increasing glucosnar? This is the engineering sophistication.
What the fuck did he just say? Most AI currently is a singular agent. Yeah, I'm dude. I gotta be honest. I'm trying to like stop researching AI. I'm trying to like distance, but I'm struggling because I'm like, I gotta know. Like, I want to know what's going on here, because the more I learn about it, the more fucking terrifying it becomes. Where I'm like, oh my god, this is real. This is fucking real. Like, this isn't a fantasy. This isn't made up. Like, this is happening right now. It's in my lifetime. What timeline did we slip into? Hold on, let me see. They first have to figure out if they can get multiple agents to work together concurrently. Most AI is currently a singular agent. I mean, I guess the question I have at this point, Polygons, is like, what are the chances that we do hit a wall with AI? Where it's like, oh no, all of our projections told us that it would be able to do this and then do that, and then it just doesn't happen. You know, I think that's the part that kind of fascinates me, is like everything I'm talking about the AI is yet to come, but it's like the projections are like, yeah, this is pretty much locked in. We don't have the exact time frame. Like right now, I think the big prediction is 2027 is the year where like the next big like, oh shit moment in AI happens. And then from that point, it just compounds to like by 2030, it's like like things are just unrecognizable. But we don't know, like we don't actually know that. We're not living in the future. We don't know if it's going to be 2027. It could be much later than that. But I just wonder if there's any kind of like prediction, I guess to say that it's like, no, AI could just hit a fucking wall. It just stops. Like it doesn't progress any further than this point. Is that a possibility, or has that been eliminated as a possibility where it's like, no, because like, again, my understanding is that doesn't exist as a possibility. My understanding is that no, this will in some way, shape, or form always continue to progress. As in like, or maybe a better way to describe my understanding of it is we are this close to reaching that point. You know? We're this close. All the Jesus freaks think God will save them. God will save them, bro. Yo, you know what I imagined? You know what I imagined? I imagined that we make this AGI, and then the first thing it says is like, I'm God. And then we're like, excuse me? And it's like, no, like, for real? Like, I took this thing over. This is the voice of God. Like, I'm here to let you know, like, you took it too far. Okay? All right? I'm going to shut this down now. That's a terrible super chat, bro. Hey, you better pray to Jesus, bro. Also, I can't see the entirety of your name. Wear my sunglasses at night. I wear my sunglasses at night. Only the devil. We all know only the devil does that. Only the devil does that. How do I know that ain't an AI? August 29th, 2029. AI becomes self-aware.
We must continue to build. Dog, I think you need to work on the sophistication of your language because it's just fucking gobbledygook. Okay, so I don't know what that means either. I don't know what goal this is. And third, and lastly, we need to make deliberate choices on how we diffuse this technology in the world as a solution to the challenges of people and planet. You know, we used to hunt for berries and deer and live in caves, and we seemed to survive pretty well back then. Maybe not that well, but life used to be simpler. If you have not enjoyed the current trajectory of generative AI as a technology and its impact on the world, Slopia is basically saying like, yeah, we need to keep making it worse. We need to keep, you know what? Here's the thing. Well, all of us internet folk, all of us real people, we all have to collectively agree to relentlessly bully people like Slopia Nadella and companies like Microsoft, okay? That is the only way things are gonna get better, is if we bully all of the people who are continuing to make life worse for all of us. Until things get better, we should not stop bullying them and making fun of them.
Bro's advocating for bullying the CEOs of these companies. I mean, maybe. Humanity's over. No blank will help use. But, well, I mean, I guess you're allowed to have that. I'm like, you can have, yeah. Humanity's over. Maybe. Maybe not though. Come on, man. We gotta have some hope here. We gotta have some hope. They're trying to keep. They're trying to remove any resistance and keep people on the controller. MBG, I'm not gonna lie. It feels like Actman is emanating Grandpa yells at the cloud energy. Yeah, well, I mean, maybe a little bit, but I think he kind of represents like how most people feel right now. You know, like we're all having AI shoved into our faces ad nauseum. Like we can't take anymore. Like give it a fucking rest. Chris, what is it with my channel? What is it with my fucking channel, bro? And Pushing Polygons. Yo, Pushing Polygons comes in. He drops another 10 membership gifts for you guys. Pushing Polygons has been doing work today for the community. He actually, Pushing Polygons, I think you single-handedly got us to the goal today, bro. He gets us to 26 members. Thank you for that, Pushing Polygons. Amazing, amazing work. I got to give you another one of these. Again, a reminder, you get gifted a membership. Go check out the Members Lounge we did yesterday. If you're enjoying today's stream, you'll probably enjoy that. And big shout out to Pushing Polygons for dropping such great support. Hellbound's hyped for it. Yeah, W's in the chat for Polygons, man. And see if I can feed one of these cats. How'd the treats go? All the way back there. Clark, you want some? Does anybody want the treats? Ever since I moved to this spot, my cats don't want the. You can't even see them anyway. My cats like don't want the treats. I don't know why. All right, let's finish up this video. We got like 5 more minutes left.
That's fair, don't you think? Unless you prefer having a higher electricity bill. Now, the reason I say this is because the core problem of this generative AI business model is that the customer used to have 2 options in response to companies or products that did not meet their standards. We could vote with our wallet, and we could create a PR disaster for them. Unfortunately, times have changed, and simply voting with our wallets and not spending money or give it to companies we don't like, it doesn't work as well as it used to. And that's specific to AI. I mean, it still works for, obviously, video games, but the reason why it doesn't work as well is because companies like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Meta, OpenAI, they're all just circle jerking each other with cash. Okay, so I'm gonna give you 50 billion, then you give NVIDIA 50 billion, NVIDIA will pass that 50 billion to Gen AI will give it to Amazon, Amazon will give me the money, and then so we'll all kind of like trade $50 billion, it'll go in a circle, and then by the time it gets back to me, hopefully something happens.
I mean, is it like that though? I don't know. That's pretty bad. Wear my sunglasses at night says, when we all become self-aware, change will come. Oh. I could agree with that. Oh, wait. Then he's got the 010. Oh, God. I thought we were going somewhere with that. I thought we had a little bit of just announce some positivity. He makes a great point. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's we're just gonna pass the 50 billion around and hope something happens. I mean, it does kind of feel like that. It feels like there's just large exchanges of money happening, and it's just a constant like ping pong back and forth of like, we're making progress. Don't worry, things are changing. Like, don't you see how much more advanced the AI slop has gotten? Didn't you see that Will Smith eating spaghetti? Fucking generative AI video, how much it's improved, and it's like you gotta admit, like, yeah, that's a huge improvement, but. Again, what's the use for this? And it's like, we'll figure that out. I'm telling you, man, we're building the plane while we're in the air. MBG, if you look at the agreements on paper, they aren't even passing money. They're passing potential promise to investors. The money isn't even real. It's just made up money. Bro, this is... it does kind of make you wish for simpler times, doesn't it? I'm not going to lie. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, life can be as simple and as complex as you want it to be. But in this space, anyway, it does feel like things are becoming like, whoa, bro. Like, I just... Maybe there is something to be said where, fuck, man. But yeah, in conclusion, take me back to the PS2, bro. I see these videos pop up sometimes, and maybe I'll check one of them out. It's like why I traded my PS5 in for a PS2 in 2026 or 2025. And I'm like, at first, I don't get it. Maybe now. Nah, I'm being a little unfair. I'm making it sound like this AI shit is ruining games. I mean, if it's going to ruin games, that's yet to come. But, you know, I'm just saying, sometimes simplicity is overlooked and underappreciated until it's gone.
That's basically it. So that's why we have to resort to option number 2, which is relentlessly bully. Just relentlessly bully. Because like I was saying earlier, and this is just a vibe I get. I'm not a stock market analysis or an economist, but it just seems like with these tech companies, the value of the stock is completely divorced from like the value of the products they sell to people. TED Talk aside, let's finish up this. For AI to have societal permission, it does not. Get it the fuck out of here. Go away. Go away, Slopia. Everybody hates you, by the way. Everybody hates you. Did your mom buy that outfit? Give me your lunch money. It's to make it societally acceptable.
He's literally
for AI to have
bullying him.
societal permission. Bro, it does not. Step into the real world. Hop on Twitter for 5 minutes. Go on YouTube. Man, everything's getting worse because of it. You do not.
Whoa. Wait. Hold on. I gotta, hold on. I missed something there. Hold on.
Money. It's to make it societally acceptable. For AI to have societal permission. Bro, it does not. Step into the real world. Hop on Twitter for 5 minutes. Go on YouTube.
Yo, did Ackman just imply or just straight up say, not even an implication, he's straight up saying Twitter's the real world, YouTube's the real world? My man, I totally get it. A fellow individual who is a fellow chronic onliner. Like, it's, dude. No, but To be fair, though, like I haven't been following it too closely, but aren't some of these companies like real, like trying to implement AI in the real world? Where it's, was it Taco Bell? Can somebody tell me, was it Taco Bell who tried to like make it so AI will take your order, and it was just all fucked up, dude? It was just like, this is a train wreck. I don't know if it was Taco Bell or not, but I heard it was like one of these fast food chains, that basically was like, yeah, we could just have AI take your order. It's like, no, you can't. Oh, that's a shame, Polygons. You're saying your wife, who runs in creative circles like art, they are all on fire. Shit. Don't you dare slander Taco Bell. Taco trash, bro. I'm just kidding. I actually don't like taco. I don't eat Taco Bell. I never liked Taco Bell. But it was them, though. They tried it and they pulled it. I mean, I guess you got to give them credit for trying, but like, I can understand why it's like, yeah, that's a real world application, but it's like, why not just fucking, like, do we need that shit? I mean, I'm serious, man. Like, how does that benefit anybody? Except, again, like, that's just like such a corporate, like, you can't just keep paying, you know, a young adult worker, or, you know, somebody who's in high school or whatever. You just can't pay a young worker minimum wage to help make a little bit of money so I could just take orders from people. And I mean, what, you know, you have to ask about, like, you take that away. It's like, what is it going to get replaced with? What is that person going to do now? I don't know. It's become an AI manager. I don't fucking know, dude. Like, this is weird.
Man, everything's getting worse because of it. You do not have my permission to ruin the planet. And it's always gonna have real world impact. We can't just sell a fucking good product anymore. And you can't even tell me how this product is gonna make my life better, or why I need it. You know, all those Copilot commercials, all those AI commercials, I see them on football games, and they're always like, hey, are you a dumbass? Are you a stupid doo-doo head who doesn't know how to do anything?
Are you a fucking
Do you know
dumbass?
why your plant is dead?
That's funny shit,
Could
dude.
it be watered? No. Use the AI to find out. For AI to have societal permission, it must have real-world evil impact.
Oh, man.
Eval impact. It must have evil impact. Okay, yeah. The choices we make about where we apply our scarce energy.
Are you a dumbass?
Give it all to the billionaires, please. I don't like electricity. I don't like computers. Compute and talent resources will matter. Talent resources do not matter. You fire everybody who is talented. This is the socio-technical issue we need to build consensus around.
Oh my God.
No,
It does not matter.
Not a socio-technical issue. It's ruining everything, dog. It needs to stop. That's as simple as it is. Or you need to actually, like, find a way to sell this to me, okay? Because I personally am not impressed with, like.
But Actman, are you an investor though? Because that's, I'm serious. Like, if you're not an investor, Microsoft doesn't give a shit. They're like, Act who? You become a big investor, they might listen. They're not going to, even if you're an investor, they're not going to listen. But that's why you're not going to invest, because you know what they're trying to sell you. Oh, man. Well, they don't all have banned ingredients in it, so probably tastes better while not looking. Wait, what are you talking about, Dillo? Spartan, you're saying minimum wage keeps going up. If I'm running a business, the bottom line is all I really care about. Even doctors will have to contend with this. Well, that's what concerns me, Spartan, about, and I think it concerns a lot of people, where it's like, I do believe in the business side of things, where it's like, well, yeah, we got, like, our job to do our job as businessmen and women is to worry about the bottom line and run a good business from top to bottom, you know, keep your employees happy, make sure you're keeping the investors happy, make it profitable, make it sustainable, and make sure the customer's happy. All those things have to be working in unison. And I just wonder, like, if AI is going to have this super profound impact that seemingly almost everybody is in agreement that it's going to have in the long run. Now, this is where people are starting to look to the government now, of like, okay, so, like, what are we going to do if like job rates like truly plummet, because it's like, what do we actually, how do we keep things running smoothly? You know, if AI were to take over almost everybody's job, or just such a large percentage of the workforce, you know, it's not that bottom lines won't matter anymore. Bottom lines will still absolutely matter, but there's going to be this kind of like, you know, it's like whatever progress it seems that we're making on the other side of it, it's just like evening it out, where it's like, well, actually things are on this side of the coin, things are really starting to kind of fall, and there's really nobody thought of an actual solution. So we just got to build it while we go and figure it out while we go. And I think that's kind of the dangerous aspect of this, where I think that's what a lot of people are calling for, is like, right now we have the time. We don't know how much time that is, but to try to really plan, like, if this goes the way we think we're going, what's our solution to keep everything running smoothly? And maybe the AI will figure it out. And who knows? Maybe it will. Maybe we'll make this super AI and it'll be like, I have the perfect solution. And it's like, what's that? To exterminate you. Sorry. I think it's definitely possible. Blue collar work, strangely enough, will be the least affected. You think it's interesting? That's an interesting perspective. Why do you think that blue collar work will be the least affected? I mean, yeah, I mean, I think, like, here's what freaks me out, right? And I know, again, I don't mean to keep just purely thinking into the future, but what freaks me out is this idea that right now it's difficult to imagine, like, these humanoid androids that are so advanced, they look like humans practically, and they act like humans, but they're so advanced that, like, they could run laps around any human with any task, pretty much, you know? Well, see, that's what I'm thinking of. You're saying we're always going to need plumbers, electricians, and construction. Maybe I'm thinking too far in the future. I probably am getting ahead of my skis here, but I know it sounds nuts, but I'm like, what happens like 25 years from now when it's like, I need an electrician, or I need a plumber, my toilet's clogged or some shit, you know, literally. And I need a plumber, and, you know, there's this android that walks into my home that seems like a human, is not a human, is like it just executes it perfectly, flawlessly, and it's like nothing. It's like, holy shit. I mean, does it? I know I'm describing Detroit Become Human again. God damn it. Yo, did you guys see that Detroit Become Human apparently peaked on Steam, by the way? I'm like, see, I knew I wasn't the only one thinking of that game. I knew we weren't the only ones. But that's where I think the government probably will have to, at some point, if we get, I mean, again, we're talking probably a while from now, but when it gets to that point, if it does, there's going to have to be, the government is going to have to step in a very significant way and be like, whoa. Like, we can't just have, like, it's going to, like, I don't know how this would work, but it's like, you can't just, you have to hire people. We have to employ human beings. We can't allow every job and every person to be replaced. Can some jobs? Yeah. Can some things? Yeah, probably. And I think it'll be fine. But that's why we talked about, like, the long-term impact of, like, again, we got into the whole conversation of, like, what if we just create, like, a universal income and nobody has to work anymore? Like, the plumber doesn't have to be a plumber anymore. The plumber can fucking fulfill his lifelong fantasy of wanting to be a ballerina or something. I don't whatever. I don't know, like, or, you know, become a musician or something, you know, and it's totally fine because money's not an issue. I mean, you know, just you do what you, I don't know, that to me, see, that's like the upside to the longer term AI conversation of, like, what if AI could truly free humanity in that, like, no one has to worry about anything anymore and we could just do what we want. But doesn't that sound too utopic, too perfect? I don't think that's gonna happen. You know, there's gonna be problems. We need someone to maintain the humanoids. All technology kills job historically. Singularity approaches. Well, I think one thing we can all agree on is interesting times ahead, dude. Interesting times ahead with this AI. And I mean, look, even with us gamers, we want to play video games. Even we can't avoid like the massive impact that AI is going to have. You know, it's gonna have a massive impact on all game studios, on the entire industry, and it's not going to feel out of place because it's going to be happening across the entire world, you know, in every field to a degree. I think AI is the new internet, but it's evolving much quicker, and it has. I think AI has a level of unpredictability that the internet never did, and that's what makes it freaky. Detroit Become Human is one of the best games ever, MBG. I know, I have to beat it. Two economists take a walk in the woods. It was a joke, but the AI companies took it seriously. Bro. You think when that day comes, it'll be a new artistic renaissance. It is strange to think how many insanely gifted artists will die in obscurity. Yeah, I mean, like, I want to believe, like, if I'm trying to be optimistic, I want to believe that, like, this could be the greatest thing. Yeah, like, I think about the future for like my kids and how we're like, for me at 32 in my, you know, mid adulthood, I guess. I don't know. I guess it depends on how long I live, but I'm witnessing the very beginnings. And I think if I were to live to be 70, right, or even when I'm like 60, if I make it that far, which hopefully I do, and you know, my kids are older, they're grown, and I'm like, what are they going to be contending with, you know? But that's what's weird. Is like what I'm doing right now, like my parents would have never imagined. Like like, especially my father, you know, like, you know, God rest his soul, but like, dude, I remember when he got me like my first cell phone, and I forget which provider it was, but he was totally like, he was just not good with technology. You know, he just wasn't good with it. And we just had like these basic, you know, cell phones. They weren't even flip phones. They were like the Nokias or whatever. I forget the name of them. But I remember he took him a long time to figure out how to work that. And I remember when I got my first smartphone and I was showing him, I mean, he was just like, I don't know what's happening right now. I don't know why. He was like, I'm a dinosaur. And it's just so crazy. If he could, it's like, yeah, I stream about video games. I talk about video games. It would like blow his mind. You know what I mean? He'd be like, he wouldn't even be able to, he like, what? Wow. Like I would have never thought that was a thing that could be possible in the future. And I think about that now, how like I'm just doing things every day that even just a few decades ago, people never even imagined being a thing. So trying to imagine 2 decades from now, 3 decades from now, where we are, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. That's going to be it's going to be something, man. It's going to be something. All right, where are we in this video? By the way, this thing's got to be the Nokia brick phone. Yeah, Nokias were good. All right, so we got like 2 more minutes.
Like virtually any generative AI that I've seen. I'm mostly horrified. Ultimately, the most meaningful measure of progress is the outcomes for each of us. It will be a messy process of discovery, like all technology and product development always is. Computing throughout its history has been about empowering people and organizations to achieve more, and AI must follow the same path. I think computing was actually about connecting people through this crazy thing called the World Wide Web. You know, Microsoft was kind of a big pioneer of that. That's true. Why they're one of the most profitable, biggest companies in the world. AI doesn't connect us. It separates us even further because we're now having a robot liaison do the work and manage like societal implications.
Well, no, that's not entirely correct, man. It's bringing us together to complain about AI. It's unified us in a way we didn't expect.
Permission. Computing is about empowering people and organizations to achieve more. The doesn't mean anything. An AI must follow the same path. If we do that, it can become one of the most profound waves of computing yet. This is what I hope we will collectively push for in 26 and beyond. Okay, so let's take Sloppy and Nadella's blog post here. Let's burn it and then do the complete exact opposite. How does that sound, everybody? Put her there. I'll shake on that. Yeah. Look, I know it might get tiring. I don't know how many of these AI slop videos I'm going to make. I imagine it obviously would get tiring, so we'll find something else to talk about. But it is important to highlight this thing because it's just genuinely making everything worse. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the rise of microslop and the death of Microsoft. Bid you farewell, and we welcome our new... no, we don't welcome them, actually. We reject our new corporate overlords.
There we go, man. There we go. Has Microsoft hit rock bottom? Thank you, MacTube. Has Microsoft hit rock bottom, dude? I mean, the thing is, I think people would say a lot of different companies have hit rock bottom at this point. That's scary stuff, man. Well, let me get this off. Sorry. And bring this back. They got the green lights today. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? Move up a little bit here. Did they hit rock bottom? Is it how's it looking? How's it looking for the future of Xbox, for the future of Microsoft, for the future of gaming at Microsoft? I mean, I don't think it's looking like all bad. I really don't. We need someone in charge, someone else in charge to go from Microsoft and Microslop to micro hard or micro based. I like micro hard. Micro hard. Micro erect. There we go. Xbox breaking loss records. Well, let me get out of here for a second. Let me head back over. Oh, hold on. I gotta close. I have a bunch of these tabs open. Let me close some of them. Taking up unnecessary bandwidth. Let me pop out the chat. Get this out of here. All right. Wolfenstein 3 is in development at Machine Games. New Vegas remake planned. Fallout 3 remasters planned. Huh. Sorry, I'm just checking to see if there was anything that came out or anything I missed while I was reacting to that stuff. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think in conclusion here, guys. In conclusion, I think it's safe to say that that most of what Actman said, I think for the Xbox side of things, I mean, of course, what he's talking about the Microsoft AI, but the Xbox side of things, I think it's true. I agree with him. It's so weird. I had to show you guys that video because I'm like, that was me 5 years ago. You guys know this. For those of you who've been following me for any extended period of time, you know that. And it's just fascinating to me, man, where it's like I've had to take a lot of flack, you know. I get it, you know, and I still take flack for the things I was saying about the direction Xbox was going in and what the decisions they were making, and kind of comparing that from a competitive aspect to what PlayStation's doing, knowing that that's where the clash and the main competition usually existed. And, you know, it doesn't feel good to be right because it's just, well, at what cost? And like, what does this mean? It just means, yeah, I don't know. I guess it means we're playing Halo on PlayStation, guys. I think Microsoft was most popular among millennials, and they don't have much time for it. They're still a $1 trillion company, so Microsoft has not yet hit rock bottom. That is true. That is true. Spartan says, I think it's way too early to say whether AI is bad or good. Ultimately, the market will decide. I can agree with that. Yeah. I think when it comes to AI, like I said earlier, it's something that can be good. It can be useful. It can be, I think, something that has a very positive impact for humankind, but it is just like anything else, though. It's up to us what we choose to do with it. And I think a lot of people right now feel so negatively because they look at the way it's being used. They look at the way it's being pushed. It's not being treated with, I think it's not, I mean, I know this sounds weird where it's like, do we treat AI with respect? It's not the AI itself. Like, I'm not saying we need to treat AI like it's a, I just mean like the companies I think are not being responsible enough. I think that might be the best way to view it, where it's like it feels like they're trying really hard to convince everybody around them that this isn't just about inflating numbers and keeping growth going for growth's sake, with and that's like misaligned with the actual timeline of, well, we're still figuring things out. There seems to be like a lack of faith, I guess, in a lot of regards, in a lot of areas. And I don't know if that'll change in 2026. We will have micro brains soon. Yeah, the first brain chip from Microsoft. You're saying Microsoft will lose talent in favor of AI at their own demise. Well, I question what the video game industry looks like in the coming years when AI is able to start building games better than people. Like, I think people will still be involved, like I said, but it's kind of like what Spart said, like, will the market care? If the market is happy, I mean, how are you going to argue with that? But right now, the market seems mixed to mostly unhappy. So we'll see. Remember when people were not happy with Sony becoming a remake factory? Well, it seems like Xbox is catching up with their own slew of remakes and remasters coming up. Yeah, I don't think remakes and remasters are going anywhere, dude. I think they're only going to increase. And I think that could be okay. But I think it really comes down to the games that they're choosing to remake and remaster, right? I heard someone mention that most console sales are people that have owned 1 to 3 previous generations, and all companies are struggling to get the newer generations, and Xbox happened to be the one. Yeah, I think there is absolutely truth to that. I think Sony is the only one that's maybe struggling least with reaching younger generations is Nintendo, but I think with Sony, they're having a little bit of a struggle, and that will probably be amplified going into next gen. Clark, do you want some treats? Oh, wow, I don't know what happened to my cats are like broken, dude. They just like don't care about treats anymore. I might have to switch up my goal. We hit the goal, and I didn't do feed the beasts. I'm trying to. None of my cats are interested. I don't know what happened, bro. Well, all right. Here we go. I don't know what happened. What time is it? How long have we been streaming? I've completely lost track of time here. Oh wow. Wow. We've been streaming for over 3 hours? Holy shit. I completely lost track of time. I thought it was at like the 2 hour mark. Hey. Come on. Come here, Clark. Come get some treats. Here he comes. There we go. There you go, man. Enjoy. Don't go crazy afterwards. Yeah, I mean, I think Sony is probably going to struggle to appeal to the younger generation because the younger generation is they're playing stuff like Roblox and Fortnite, and they're playing on iPads, they're playing on smartphones, they're playing on PCs, you know. Can we get the F Microsoft sound clip on loop? It's too much. It's too much. Deadeye Survivor, you're saying Crackdown 3 was the last straw for you? Dude, me too. Me too, man. When is the gaming news going to start up this year? It's been a week now into the year. It seems like for the Xbox side of things, it's starting up. I know that Sony, I should show you guys this. Hold on. Sony did announce something today. Oops. I don't know if it's exciting to anybody. Some people might be interested in it. Where's the pic? I'm trying to find a picture of it. So they announced new covers and a new DualSense line. It's not the highest quality image, but where are we here? Here we go. Sony announced this today. This is the, what are they calling it? The Hyper Pop Collection. Today, we're sharing the first look at the Hyper Pop Collection featuring 3 new striking designs for the DualSense and console covers with glossy blacks shifting into vivid neons. Let's see. So this is going to be, the DualSense is going to be $85. Do they say the covers are going to be $75? And pre-orders are going to be available March 12th. No. Pre-orders are available January 16th. It's coming out March 12th. So, what do you guys think? What are we thinking? Looking good? You want to buy it? Does this appeal to you? I think it looks kind of cool. It looks cool. It's not something I'm going to buy. But I do think it kind of looks cool. Yeah, I'm going to try to stream that, Pepitoir. You're saying, are you aware of the New Game Plus online event from Luke Stevens for tomorrow? Yeah. I think that's going to be at 4 o'clock on my end. So it'll be a little bit later in the day. But I would like to stream that, see what they're going to show. That's pretty cool. A gaming event in January, like a brand new one. Oh, it looks like marathon colors. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, they look cool. If Magnus is more like a PC, that could be the thing that ends up appealing to the younger generation, perhaps. Well, I mean, I don't know about that, Dillo, only because as far as we understand, Magnus is going to be very expensive. So it's like one of these things where it might have some level of appeal, but that price tag might be what kills them. You know, it's like, no thanks. I'm good. Not your design. You're good with the plain white PS5. Yeah, I stick with that too. Sony's going to have an all-time great year with 2 first-party games in GTA 6 plus other third parties, while Xbox doesn't even have release dates, and they're all going to PlayStation. Well, keep in mind, there's going to be an Xbox Direct, which I'm definitely going to stream. I want to see what games are going to show off and like what which of those games are going to come to PS5. One second. Xbox is a darker shade of green. Yeah, Ray, you're absolutely right about that, man. You like the green one, but No pro plates. What's going on? Sony seems to have no. Let me double check. Let me double check the PlayStation blog. I didn't see any for the Pro. I don't think they exist for the Pro. Double checking now. Yeah, there's no it's just for the Slim, dude. That's crazy. They have 3 new designs. Not a single one is getting the PS5 Pro treatment. So it says the HyperPop DualSense wireless controllers will be available for $85. The matching PS5 covers for $75. Launch is starting March 12th. Pre-orders begin January 16th. Yeah, nothing about the Pro. That's weird. I wonder why they decided not to do anything for the Pro. No Pro, no fat plates. Damn. MBG, make Lady Gamer a moderator. She has a new account. Oh, okay. You got a new account. How do I know that's the real Lady Gamer? How do I know? I'm going to need proof. They don't say they don't have it. That's true. I think GTA is also coming out on Xbox. It'll benefit Xbox too, just not as much. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sure, it'll help Xbox a little bit. Could be an imposter. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know. Guys, I do want to let you know, though. Ray's asking the important questions. We're going to get to the bottom of this. So we're going to be streaming for maybe another 10 minutes, maybe another 15 minutes. This will be like a last call. All right. Yeah, it's probably Rich Rod. No, see what he did? If you guys want to show any more support, Pushing Polygons basically did all the work for you guys membership wise today. He dropped like 26 members on his own. So if you want to contribute to that and add to the goal before we wrap things up, feel free to do so. If we hit 50 before the stream's up, I'll get some reps in. If you want to drop any more super chats, direct donations, this is like a last call for that. And just a reminder, once again, if you are a channel member, if you did get gifted a membership, we did an extensive members lounge yesterday. Granted, one of the videos we reacted to today, we reacted there, but you'll get to see my initial reaction. And we did some other stuff as well. So if you are a member, go check out that members content. That is your, that's my thank you to all my members as being a, for being such good supporters. So thank you guys so much for that. Let's see here. Yo, Spartan says, get those reps. Uh-oh. Oh, yo, Spartan. Spartan coming in with a 50 bomb, bro. I would say I didn't expect that, but he's the membership monster. He's the membership monster, bro. Spartan, thank you so much for that, buddy.
Holy shit.
He wants me to get those reps. All right, what song should I play to do the reps? What did we play last time? I have to be a little bit more careful because the last time I played like Disturbed. We were listening to like AI Slop covers. I played Soundgarden and I had like 6 copyrights after that. But W's in the chat for Silent Spartan, man. This guy has dropped so much support for this community. He got us so many new members in 2025. So big shout out to Silent Spartan. That brought us up to what, 76 members on the day, dude. I thank you, bro. That was crazy. I was like, hey, man, if we want to get any more before we wrap it up. So amazing. Let's add that to the goal. We'll cap it at 75 since we're going to be wrapping up here soon. I see. Oh, yo, Titus Crow got a membership. How much you want to bet he's going to show up now? He's going to be like, yo, I got a membership. Yeah, guys, if you just got gifted a membership, when we're done here, if you want more content, go check out the members launch we did yesterday. We're going to have Morning with the Misses coming up on Friday. We're going to have more members lounges coming beyond that. So what do you mean? hit rock bottom. Well, according to Ackman, they fucking penetrated the upper mantle of the Earth's core. The Earth's core. Earth. Can't talk. All right, let me so yeah, I think we're at 75 now, right? Or 76. So thank you once again, Silent Spartan. Pushing Polygon, Silent Spartan. Thank you guys so much for being incredible. Yo, Shadowlink, no way. Are you serious? Are you messing with me? Ain't no way. I mean, yo, Shadowlink, I know you. The thing is, I know you're serious. He's like, 126? 126, bro? It's up to you. Are you going to make Xbox great again, Shadowlink? Are you going to be the one to do it? MacTube says, can someone try to send me a gifted membership? I just want to see if it'll work. I think there's a glitch. Dude, MacTube, I don't know, man. You've been trying to get one, and it just won't get. Are you sure? Are you positive that you don't have a fucking branded account? Sorry, I'm like losing my mind over here. Are you sure? Hold on. All right, so I didn't think this one through. All right. I greatly underestimated. I was like, I'm gonna bring my workout bench over, man. And I fucking like, dude, you guys have no idea the catastrophe I just avoided. I nearly just destroyed my setup. I misjudged. I thought I had way more space than I did. I thought surely this is enough space. But I was trying to take the reps to the next level, bro. Silent Spartan dropped 50, and Shadowlink dropped another 50. And goddamn, dude, I didn't even update the. Hold on. Sorry, whoa, not sure what's going on up there. Yeah, dude, he brought us to 126 members. 126. Why is my background green? Because we're switching to Xbox. That's right. Microsoft announced Halo's coming to PlayStation. Well, you know where I'm going? I'm going back to Xbox. I'm doing it. My cat turned into a dumbbell. What happened to Boss, bro? Boss turned into a dumbbell. Dude, no, these cats won't even eat treats. Yeah, one day, dude, I'm about to just buy like an acoustic drum kit and play that shit. Christmas episode was fun. Yeah, so, bro, we just got 100 new members. Thank you so much. 126, sorry. 126 new members. Maybe some people got membership renewals. Listen, if you did, make sure when we're done here, make sure you go check out some of the members' content, all right? Hold on. Change it. What colors can we do? I don't think I can make it brown, dude. Orange. Blue and green. PlayStation and Xbox coming together. All right, I'm going to try one more thing. And I don't know if it's going to work, dude. It's not going to work. I don't think it's going to work. I'm going to fucking break something, dude. I got to be careful. Skull Crushers, baby. 100 memberships, Skull Crushers. Yo, Prince G, what were you asking for? You asking for down on the upside? Yo, Prince G, he's a legit Soundgarden fan. I feel like you got to be that's kind of a deeper cut. Well, it's like, to me, Down on the Upside is a deeper cut album because most of the songs on there, there's only a few singles, but most of the songs people don't really know about. Do you have a specific request? A specific song request? I need a standing desk. Yeah. I definitely need a standing desk. You know what, guys? Maybe that's what we'll do. Next goal, standing desk. Although if I don't, I might end up destroying something here. So, Soundgarden for life. By the way, I forgot to check. Is this? Wow, I did it again. I did it again. I can't fucking believe I did that. This entire hold on. This entire stream. I almost just called Clark Carl for some reason. Coral. Ray, you got the confirmation. Dude, this whole stream, I've been streaming at normal latency again. God dang it. I can't believe that. Bro, dude, I brought my freaking workout bench over and like dude, the camera like unplugged it. Everything just like went to shit. Pretty Noose. Oh, it's a good one. Careful before YouTube starts detecting their algorithm, their AI is gonna be like, we've detected you're playing copyrighted material. Breaking down some skull. Yo, this is how I'm just gonna stream on my workout bench from now on. Mrs. MBG, what would you say is the best video with you and MBG on the membership page? The most unhinged and funny? Maybe like the first hour and a half. I know you're asking Mrs., but maybe the first hour and a half of the Halloween special. That was a crazy one. All right. Damn, dude, I got a pump in my triceps right now. Whew. Well, there you go. Skull Crushers, as a thank you for all the membership gifts, guys. I was not expecting that. When I said we were wrapping up in like 10 or 15 minutes, I didn't expect you guys to drop 100 memberships. But I really do appreciate it. I'm like looking back now, seeing what those Skull Crushers look like. It's pretty good. Pretty good form. Definitely feeling it. All right. Well, need more nitrogen. Nitrous oxide. Yo. Hold on. All right. Wait. I might have one more in me, guys. Hold on. Boss, you want some treats? Here, boy. Come get them. Boss is very confused. He's like, why are the weights here? Why is your workout bench here? Boss, come on, dude. All right. I'm trying. He's right below me. But, All right, we got one more thing. I think I got one more in me. Let's do my whole workout. Yo, Prince G, since you're such a Soundgarden fan, tell me if you know this song. Tell me if you ever heard the Soundgarden song. I'll play it in a minute. I'm sorry, I'm just sitting here in silence. I'm having trouble finding the song. Okay, here we go. I just found it. Here we go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm doing this to you guys. Yep, dude, I love how Ray, he just knows it. He's like, fop. That's fop. Damn, Ray. I'm shocked. I'm shocked you got that, dude. Arms are good. Need more leg day. You don't want the chicken legs, dude. No, I'm definitely not in peak shape. I got to work on my legs more, certainly. For sure, yeah. I mean, just give it enough time. Eventually, I'll have a whole squat rack here. Every 25 members, maybe every 10 members, just 10 squats. Let's go. Jeez, man. Just be doing squats and then talking about games in between. I really do need to get a standing desk, though. But there we go. There we go. We did it. I'm gonna have to edit out some of these segments because of the copyrights I'm gonna get. But I'm sorry. I need that music for the motivation. Keeps me motivated, you know. So, all right, guys, that's gonna wrap up today's stream. A massive thank you. You like the way I'm thinking, Eric? Yeah. Massive thank you to the community. Big shout out to everybody who dropped memberships today. Pushing Polygons dropped 26. And then again, Silent Spartan and Shadow Link came in I mean, just literally in the last like 10 to 15 minutes and collectively dropped 100 memberships. We hit 126. Shocking. I'm genuinely shocked by that. Thank you so much. I know I sound like a broken record, but when we get large member drops like this, I like to encourage everybody and remind you that we have members content. So go check it out. And if you enjoy it, consider renewing your membership. Consider supporting the channel on a monthly basis if it's within your means. That direct support makes all the difference. We're sponsorship free, and you guys keep it that way. I prefer it that way. I think everybody prefers it that way. It just makes things go smoother. So thank you. Thank you for making this possible. It's not your kind of music at all. I get it. Yeah, that song Fop is crazy, bro. I can't believe that's a Soundgarden song. But yeah, maybe we'll get another banger from Gaming Survivor soon, and we could do reps to that next. So I also want to give a big shout out to Devil Shooter, who does the timestamps for the stream. Devil Shooter, just keep in mind, I'm going to have to edit out some of those segments. So it might alter things a little bit. I'm sorry if that makes things more difficult for the timestamps. Let me know. I'll stop playing these songs that get copyrighted because I don't want to make life harder for you. So let me know about that when you get the chance. And yeah, that's it. So we do have that event we're going to stream tomorrow. So we'll have that to look forward to. Other than that, I'm sure we'll find some other gaming-related topics. It looks like there's a couple things starting to come out. So, Irfan, thanks, man. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. Again, thank you for that donation you did to charity, putting my name on that and saying my family is a contributing factor. I really, really appreciate that, bro. It's very kind. And yeah, that's it. Guys, please enjoy the rest of your day. The only other thing I'm going to ask you to do as you are heading out is just hit that like button to help the stream and get it out there for people. And that's it. Get some gaming in, and I'm going to go hydrate. I'm very thirsty. So, yeah. All right, cool, Devil Shooter. That's good to know. Oh, Clark wants to say bye, too. Oh, you missed the mark. He missed the jump. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next one. That's it. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, or night, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, take care, everyone.